E3 Access. Sony PlayStation 3.
Predict the future is to invent it. Ken Kutaragi and his team at Sony set out to invent a different future. They imagined a rich 3D experience fusing gaming, music, movies, communication. They imagined a platform that could power such a transformation. PlayStation hit the world with a force rarely seen.
You go, girl.
Developers embraced the platform with amazing ferocity, creating the world's richest, most immersive games. PlayStation 2 redefined computer entertainment with unparalleled power, speed, and graphics, converging movies, games, and music. PlayStation Portable, the next revolution. Suddenly, handhelds aren't just for kids, or just for games. From a minor market into a major cultural force, PlayStation continues to invent the future, live in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kaz Hirai.
Good afternoon and welcome to the annual Sony Computer Entertainment E3 press conference. It's great to be with you here today at a new location, the Sony Picture Studios. First of all, are you guys all excited about E3? All right, come on, there are more than 2,000 people in this room. Let's try that again. Are you guys excited about E3? All right, that's what I'd like to hear. It's very good because all of us at Sony Computer Entertainment have been waiting a long time to get to this point, and we're very excited to share with you, our industry, our partners, our loyal fans, what's in store for the future of the PlayStation business. We have always attempted to do things differently at Sony, and our goal and vision for PlayStation has taken us to unprecedented levels of success and inspiration. For the last decade, we have strived to push for constant innovation by continuing to deliver home console platforms that challenge the status quo. Just keeping up with conventional technology isn't enough for us. That runs contrary to the Sony DNA. The original PlayStation offered a true 3D arcade gaming experience in the home for the very first time. 5 years later, with PlayStation 2, we delivered a quantum leap in technology, allowing for the most realistic gaming experience on the market, and this is still true today. PlayStation 2 is the first complete entertainment hub with its ability to play games, audio CDs, and DVD video content through one box. And on top of that, we delivered an industry first, backwards compatibility with the original PlayStation library. To date, we have shipped more than 190 million units of PlayStation hardware and close to 2 billion units of software, which, in my mind, is a pretty amazing accomplishment. Then, along came PlayStation Portable, a product we introduced to the world at last year's E3 show. For us, any product carrying the PlayStation name has a lot to live up to. And yet again, we delivered on the promise. PlayStation Portable is full of innovation, far superior to anything on the market today. Just as PlayStation in 1995 revolutionized gaming and the way our industry does business, PlayStation Portable served as the disruptor in the portable space and changed the way consumers view entertainment on the go. And now, we're on the onset of a new decade for the PlayStation family of products, what we're calling the digital decade. So let's take a look at what that will look like. And now, here to outline some of our future. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to one of our company's founders, who is known in some circles as the father of the PlayStation, Ken Kutaragi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for sharing your valuable time with us today. Every time when I have a dream, I can emerge our next voyage. I can feel a breeze. And today, we are so excited to review our third PlayStation portable home entertainment system, so PlayStation 3. In 1994, we launched our first PlayStation capable of rendering real-time computer graphics. Technologies used in the original PlayStation might have been too advanced at that time for consumer products, but we challenged to integrate all of core technologies into a small box. 6 years after we released our first PlayStation, we tried to create the most powerful 128-bit microprocessor for computer entertainment applications called Emotion Engine. It opened up a new paradigm in computer entertainment. And now, we have developed the world's most powerful cell processor, which is going to be applied in our next generation system. History of PlayStation was also a history to seek for the latest optical disc media for content distribution system. We employed CD-ROM media for our first system, which became a trigger to success. For PS2, our decision was to adopt DVD, which clearly popularized DVD movie format. In this sense, it will be a great chance to support Blu-ray disc for our next generation system. For storing the state-of-the-art program with vast-rich data, capacity is the key for delivering media. Blu-ray has 6 times bigger capacity than current DVD. We would like to accelerate this transition. As of today, PlayStations have achieved a cumulative 190 million installed base in homes around the world. It is a privilege that both PlayStation and PlayStation 2 have become the absolute #1 platform in the world. Within the last 10 years, over 13,000 titles were released for the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 format by number of publishers worldwide. These are very important assets for everyone. We are happy to announce that PlayStation 3 will have backward compatibility to enjoy these assets. In February at ISSCC, we announced our latest cell processor together with IBM and Toshiba. The chip consists multi-cores for real-time applications. This is a die photograph of the cell processor utilizing 90 nanometer SOI semiconductor technology. It contains 234 million transistors that boost supercomputer-like performance. Our team member, Jim Kell from IBM, had sent us a video message, so let's take a look at it.
The Cell project has been the most important project in my career. It will have a lasting impact on the technology community and will start a new generation of products that will positively benefit the end users. The development of the Cell is for uses beyond games. Its supercomputer attributes will revolutionize computer technology for a new interactive world. As we gathered specialists from IBM, Toshiba, and Sony, we shared the same vision and dreams. The whole team is very excited about the project goals. Even though at times it seemed like an impossible journey, the incredible power of this world-class team overcame the largest challenges to meet the goals. Even IBM, who helped pioneer computer and processor designs throughout history, feels lucky to have participated in this revolutionary project. This appreciation has been felt by the design team, architects, and engineers who all contributed to this great project. We are very excited and are looking forward to see all the new entertainment this chip will help create.
Well, this chart shows 32-bit floating-point calculation speed by Emotion Engine at 300 MHz, as well as Xbox 360 processor at 3.2 GHz, and the cell processor running at the same frequency of 3.2 GHz. Because of its massive multi-core architecture, Cell is more than 35 times faster than the Emotion Engine and twice the speed of the Xbox 360 processor. This chart shows memory bandwidth between main processor and main memory system. With Rambus XDR memory technology, PS3 has 8 times faster memory bandwidth than PS2, and 3 times faster compared to the latest PC. Here is a chart that shows the latest supercomputer top 5. Current top supercomputer has 36 teraflops double precision floating-point calculation speed for massive computing applications. One of the typical applications for these kinds of supercomputer is movie rendering for special effects. Sony ImageWorks, which is a Sony Pictures Entertainment Group company, has piled a huge number of cluster servers for movie rendering through non-real-time operations. A total number of floating-point calculation speed has reached 10 teraflops. We are going to utilize such supercomputer-like performance in the real-time computer entertainment arena. These photographs are generated and synthesized by cell processor-based system. With RSX graphics processor, PlayStation 3 will have almost total of 2 teraflops single precision floating-point calculating performance within the system. With that level of supercomputer-like calculation power, we can walk through or even log in seamlessly to both real world and computer-generated cyber world. These are the basic specifications of PlayStation 3. Cell will be running at 3.2 gigahertz for computer entertainment applications. Each cell has 8 SPEs, but for PS3, 7 SPEs will be activated. Each SPE has dedicated 256 kilobyte local memories. PowerPC-based core processor has 512 kilobyte L2 cache. RSX is a joint effort with NVIDIA, which has both latest PC and PlayStation capabilities. RSX is the world's most advanced GPU that can synthesize movie-quality graphics. It takes full advantage of the power and bandwidth of cell. One of the significant advantages of RSX is its dual-screen outputs for 32:9 super wide aspect graphics or main and sub view application for gameplay. Each of the two screens has up to 2K by 1K resolution in 1080 progressive scan. For supporting a supercomputer-like horsepower, memory bandwidth and its size are crucial factors. PS3 has a state-of-the-art memory system. XDR has applied the fastest bandwidth to the cell computing system and dedicated 256 megabyte VRAM system will enrich graphics expressions. As a mass storage system, PS3 will have a detachable 2.5-inch HDD slot. Bus bandwidth is another benchmark for real-time applications. PS3 has very powerful bus channels for each operation. With its overwhelming power, PS3 will be capable of handling both digital consumer electronics and computer applications. For these possibilities, PS3 will have powerful interfaces, including 6 USB ports, memory stick and SD card slots, and a compact flash slot. For digital audio video outputs, PS3 will have 2 HDMI outputs. Together with PlayStation-compatible AV Mount output and optical digital audio output. Another interface for communication. To meet higher bandwidth for the next generation, PS3 will have a built-in gigabit Ethernet port with 2-port switching hub. Wi-Fi is also a standard feature of PlayStation 3 for communicating with PSP and other devices. For quick response, PS3 will support built-in Bluetooth for up to 7 wireless controllers. Inheriting the PlayStation gene, PS3 will support a wide range of optical disc formats, including CD and DVD, together with SACD playability. And the next new media is Blu-ray disc, which contains up to 50 gigabytes on a disc. We are strongly supporting Blu-ray format for PS3 as a standard feature, and expect to play the same role as we did with DVD. Finally, in addition to games, PS3 will, of course, be able to perform non-gaming functions, such as digital music, movies, and photographs, even during gameplay. Video communication over the network or internet browsing can also be enjoyed simultaneously while playing games. PS3 truly is a system to be placed in the center of the living room in homes around the world. Future is almost here with PlayStation 3. Thank you.
The world we live in is full of information. Here we have a world just like reality. Look at it more closely. There is no concept of distance in this world. We can move instantaneously. We can see anything live. And when live images are linked with three-dimensional data, information can be directly drawn from reality. It's like the world of a movie. Take a look at another live image, a common scene captured by a camera. When the camera images are fused with additional digital information, reality can be controlled, giving you an incredible power and freedom. Now let's look at the world of sports. Golf is one of the world's favorite sports. Precise simulation combines the real and the imaginary. Once linked to digital information, you can play on any golf course around the world. Reality becomes data. If reality and information are connected, you can experience your own reality and control it your own way. It's a new way to view information. Imagination and dreams come true.
So please join me in welcoming the co-founder of NVIDIA, Jason Wong.
And thank you. Thank you, Ken. I'm delighted to be here. And I'm delighted to join you to announce clearly the most important digital consumer device to be built this decade, and one that you've so passionately worked on over the last 5 years. You know, our two teams share a passion for computer graphics. NVIDIA is home to a very large number of the world's most talented graphics design engineers. Over the course of the last 12 years, we've dedicated well over $1 billion in R&D to advance this technology, created over 1,000 patented technologies, including one of the most important contributions we've made
to the computer industry, the programmable shading processor. Today, you can find NVIDIA's GPUs standard in the highest performance computers and the most graphics demanding workstations around the world. So you could imagine how excited we were when Ken invited us to partner with him to build the PlayStation 3 GPU. Ken had 3 very lofty goals. First, to build absolutely the most advanced GPU the world has ever seen. Second, to truly make it possible to synthesize movie-quality graphics in real time. And third, to understand and completely utilize the awesome processing power and throughput of the cell processor. Now, these are daunting goals. The fundamental challenge of graphics, of computer graphics, is that tension between beauty and speed. The x-axis represents the speed of graphics rendering. The y-axis represents the beauty, or the image reality, of the rendered image. Movies are clearly beautiful and fantastic to look at, but they take hours and hours to render on farms of CPUs. Game consoles, on the other hand, are lightning fast, 60 frames per second, knee-jerk reaction, but clearly doesn't come anywhere close to the image quality that you see in movies. Computer graphics technology used for movies is called shaders, programs that run on farms and farms of servers. It takes hours and hours to render each pixel and each frame. The technology of computer consoles, game consoles, is called texture mapping. Fast, but limited. Our goal with the PlayStation 3 graphics is to overcome this fundamental barrier and bring movie-quality images to game consoles at 60 frames per second. Our solution is the RSX, Reality Synthesizer. There are so many new technologies that are introduced in the RSX, and it will take years to describe. It is the culmination of over 1,500 man-years of engineering. There are 4, however, that are extremely important in the next generation of game consoles. First, the heart and soul of the RSX, the programmable shading processors. The RSX can process 136 shader operations simultaneously in one clock. Second, 128 bits floating point pixel precision. This is something that's just truly spectacular. Today's game consoles are limited to 32 bits of pixel precision, which means that we can only express 250 shades of lights for each color. And I will illustrate to you later that that's simply limiting and will not achieve the level of quality we want to see in movie-like images. The third, 2K by 1K resolution. Resolution is the enemy of graphics. The higher the resolution, the more pixel processing capability you need, and the more system memory and graphics rendering memory you need. 2K by 1K, 2 million pixels. The highest resolution of HD supported on this game console. And lastly, most importantly, is the overall system architecture to achieve this incredible throughput. Now let me put this all into perspective. The RSX is based on our next generation graphics architecture that has never been seen before and that we will preview for the first time to the world today. There are 300 million transistors on one chip, 500 million vias. These are little tiny 1-micron electronic devices that connect each layer of metal. And if you connected back to back, all of the interconnect on this chip, it will reach half a mile. 300 million transistors, 8 layers of metal, built on Sony's 90 nanometer process. Now, another way to think about this is how much performance is there. The RSX has twice the performance of the GeForce 6800 Ultras, the highest performance GPU in the world today. Each one of these GPUs retail for $500. There will be 2 of them, equivalent horsepower, in the RSX. Now, what is 300 million transistors? Transistors are a bit of an obscure little electronic devices. 300 million transistors is equivalent to, essentially, the Xbox GPU, the PS2 graphics synthesizer, the GameCube flipper chip, the Gecko microprocessor, the Xbox Pentium 3 CPU, the PlayStation 2 Emotion Engine, and you kick in the highest performance PC CPU in the world today. All of that combined is 300 million transistors. Now the question is, what do you do with 300 million transistors, and why is it that the RSX requires so many? Well, fundamentally, the fixed function texture mapping capabilities are too limiting, and programmable shading processors requires an extraordinary amount of computational horsepower. Instead of just a pre-computed decal that is layered on top of a 3D object, in those kind of a texture mapping architecture, it is not possible for us to articulate the subtle material surfaces that are only visible pixel at a time as you interact with the environment, the lighting and the shadows of the environment around you. It's simply impossible to articulate brushed aluminum, carbon fiber, felt, carpeting, wool, silk, and even be able to show the difference between gold paint and gold. We want to achieve that level of realism. In order to do that, we incorporated a farm of programmable shading processors so that each and every single pixel will be computed in real time. In addition to texture maps, we will now provide also light maps, shadow maps, bump maps, normal maps, and even some really exciting new things like surface reflectance functions, surface and subsurface scatter functions, to be able to articulate the really subtle effects that you see in real life. Let me show you now and demonstrate for the first time our next generation GPU and give you a sense of what pixel shaders can do. This is Luna. She is a computer-generated person. And notice all of the subtleties, the specular shine on her lips, the soft shadows under her nose and above her lips. Notice that the specular highlight on her cheeks shows the imperfections of her skin. Notice that light is penetrating her skin and scattering underneath her skin so that you see her rosy cheeks. The volumetric shadows on her hair. Her hair looks so incredibly soft. All of these effects are made possible with programmable shaders. However, we want to do a lot more than that. What the PlayStation 3 is about is creating beautiful worlds that come alive. In addition, the programmable shaders are articulating her skin, the skeletal structure, and her muscles underneath in order to express the subtle emotions. The plasma beam is now circling around her, and her bodysuit is now coming to life, reflecting, refracting, and absorbing light in different ways. These lovable creatures are also rendered with shaders. Notice the plasma, so bright in the back that it actually penetrates the membranes of their skin, and rendering for the first time effects that have never been seen before, volumetric rendering of objects. You could see the skeleton in the back through the objects. The lights are so bright that they're flooding over the silhouette of the characters. This is a simple technology demonstration of what is the possibility of the PlayStation 3. Thank you. Luna is beautiful enough to fall in love with. Now, the second most important, in addition to the ability to be able to articulate the surface material, we also need to have a color format and color precision that can express the incredible subtleties that we're going to be able to render. Today's computer systems are limited to 32 bits. I want to show you some imagery that is courtesy of Paul Debevec at University of Southern California and one of the leading experts in a technology called high dynamic range. 32 bits can only articulate 250 tones of light, and yet our eyes, and certainly my eyes right now, I can see 50,000 to 1 contrast. So in the brightest of lights and the darkest of shadows, our eyes still have the ability to see deep and subtle details. In order to be able to articulate this level of realism, we need to take our color format to floating point. With the RSX, we're introducing 128 bits with floating point precision for each and every single pixel. Let me show you the effect of that. On the upper side is the original image, both of which currently look the same. On the top, we're going to show you 32 bits accuracy, and on the bottom, we're going to show you 128 bits of high dynamic range pixel precision. As we make the lights brighter, notice that the top is starting to wash out, and it's simply because it doesn't have enough precision to deal with the brightness of light. The details through the window are already essentially lost. If we make it even brighter, notice that it's completely washed out. The benefit of 128 bits of pixel precision is clear. However, the amount of electronics and the amount of horsepower necessary to do so and deliver that capability in real time is staggering. RSX will bring that to the game console world. Resolution. This is the digital era. Digital displays are getting higher and higher in resolution. PlayStation 1 was introduced during the time of NTSC and TVs, 320 by 240 resolution. The PlayStation 2 was the first entry into digital displays and has a resolution of 720 by 486. The PlayStation 3 is going to bring 2 megapixels to real time. Now, 2 megapixels, that is the resolution of movies. It is the resolution you're currently seeing broadcasted to you right now. Having this level of resolution on your TV screen at home is going to be absolutely spectacular. When you combine that with Blu-ray and digital panels that are going to be coming out in the future, the living room will never be the same. And lastly, and most importantly, is the overall system performance. Putting it together, the first thing you notice is the bandwidth of the bus between the cell processor and the RSX, 35 gigabytes per second. That's 7 DVDs in 1 second. 7 DVDs will be transferred across that bus in 1 second. It is 7 times the bandwidth of the highest performance PC today. The second is 100 billion shader operations per second. The ability to process shaders is going to be the critical measure of performance and beauty in the coming generation of game consoles. 100 billion is 3 times that of the highest PC today. 51 billion dot products per second. A dot product is the fundamental and one of the most important calculations in 3D graphics. The highest performance Pentium 4 can perform 3 billion dot products per second. 51 versus 3, 2 teraflops. Over 120 times the performance of a Pentium 4. And of course, 512 megabytes of graphics render memory. one of the most interesting and most exciting architectural advantages that we're bringing to this generation is that the RSX can render pixels to anywhere in system memory. So instead of being limited to just the 4 megabytes of the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3 will have 512 megabytes available to it for graphics memory. So how do you put all this stuff together? Well, we're going to show you the first demonstration, real-time demonstration of a next-generation game console and a next-generation game. To help me do that is Tim Sweeney, founder and chief technical officer of Epic Games, and Josh, his capable sidekick. Tim?
Thank you very much, Jensen.
Josh? Thank you.
Now here we're showing Unreal Engine 3 up and running in real time on the PlayStation 3 hardware right now.
We're not going to say anything so you guys can enjoy this demonstration. Wow, there is no way that is real time. Tim, there is just absolutely no way that's real time. You're going to have to prove it to the audience.
Okay, now we'll run through the same demo and take over controls so Josh can actually navigate through the environment and see what we have here. And here we have a 720p high definition screen being rendered with per pixel lighting and per pixel shadowing. With shaders, they're more than 200 times more complex than was possible in the previous generation.
Wow.
So here we see a floating point render target with very high dynamic range lighting everywhere. Per pixel lighting and shadowing and all of the effects that you've seen in previous generation movies are now being done in real-time games now today with this generation.
And the high dynamic range is what makes it possible for us to see the incredibly bright highlights while still seeing the details in the shadows.
Oh, exactly. It's the real difference between what's been seen in video games before, where you had 8-bit graphics, versus what you see in film, which is very, very high definition.
Now tell us, Tim, how long has it taken you guys to develop this game on top of the PS3 dev kit?
Well, amazingly, we got the first PlayStation 3 hardware only 2 months ago. So what you see here is just 2 months of work bringing Unreal Engine 3 up and running. And this was so fast because we have a lot of experience with PC development, and all of that knowledge was immediately applicable to PlayStation 3, which has a very nice development pipeline, OpenGL-based, CG shading language-based, and all standard-based, and very easy to to write for.
That's terrific. This is really awesome stuff. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Tim. Well, there you have it. That's the RSX. You know, what you're seeing today is really just the tip of the iceberg of what's going to be possible in this truly revolutionary game console, PlayStation 3. It has just been an incredible privilege for us to work with Ken and his team on building clearly the most important digital consumer platform of this decade. I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Masa Shatani.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to be here. This is a very exciting moment for all of our people who has been developed the PlayStation 3 development. This is PlayStation 3 schematic shown here for the first time. PlayStation 3 has a system design of elegant simplicity combined with outstanding performance, a total of 2 gigaflops of the single floating point calculations. The heart of PlayStation 3 is a cell processor, a revolutionary architecture for the high-performance computing. The cell is designed specifically to handle the massive floating point computation demands of the most complex algorithms: physics, dynamics, AI, simulation, and the media processing will be the signature element of the PlayStation 3 titles. In addition to Ken Kutaragi's presentation earlier, I would like to share in detail the several very attractive features of PlayStation 3. This amazing innovation will allow the user to experience the multiple channels of entertainment and the information at the same time from multiple sources. If you are fortunate enough to have 2 HD monitors, then you can enjoy a panoramic view which creates a horizontally seamless image of 32:9 aspect ratio. An even more attractive use of the dual screen feature will be to show tactical and statistical information to be displayed even on the PC monitor while playing the sports game on larger main screen. Likewise, you can video chat with your friends at the same time as a playing game. This is not simply to display of the same game, but allowing the user to command and control multiple sources of multiple channels of the entertainment simultaneously. Further, fusing the real and the virtual worlds together. PlayStation 3 can be controlled by a wide variety of devices, all wireless. The controller that will ship with the system uses Bluetooth technologies to guarantee the real-time response required for the most intensive video game applications. Bluetooth also is designed with a lower power consumption in mind and will provide more than 1 day gameplay time before having to be recharged by any USB port or the PS3 or other device. In addition to USB standard interface for various controllers like iToy, camera, there is also a built-in wireless network interface that allows connection to Wi-Fi devices, including PlayStation Portable. This allows the PSP to become a remote controller as well as remote screen, whether you're in the next room or on the other side of the world. From any remote location, PSP can access to PS3 to play the role-playing game which runs your PS3 at your home. The always-on, always connected nature of PS3 means that your secure media can be accessed remotely at any time over broadband or wireless networks. SCE has pioneered the concept of the camera attached to PS2, with over 2.5 million iToy cameras sold across the world. And now we are pleased to introduce to the next generation of high-definition IP camera to PS3. This camera is IP-based, allowing the user to place the camera anywhere in the world, in home, and anywhere on the planet. Through IP-based networks, this location-free concept allows any PS3 user to instantly launch their own broadcast station anywhere in the world. Think of it as the next generation personal homepage. Rather than simple text and still images, I could provide my own high-definition video news and information live or archived from hard disk drive. PS3 HD IP camera will allow the user to travel to another user's camera view. So you can make a virtual visit to the beach in Maui, Hawaii, or just by selecting the HD video and audio channel. In the PS2 era, the network function was additional hardware and software solution. The PS3 era fundamentally changes this approach. The network is a core element of the PlayStation 3 DNA. Every aspect of the system has been designed with the broadband and home networks in mind. PS3 is an always-on, always connected device. The 4 C's of the network, commerce, community, content, and communication are built in to every aspect of the system design and operating system, allowing applications to easily exploit these features. Media browsing and network interface are built into the operating system and allow the user to handle multiple tasks simultaneously, even while playing a game. Video calls can be made and received. Music and streaming media are browsed. New content for games purchased and downloaded. Naturally, multiplayer online game feature will be also offered. We recently introduced the concept of the game sharing on PSP, where a player can send game data to other PSPs. PS3 will also support P2P connection as one of the key methods of communication under the secure environment. Users can exchange their unique characters and items through the network. By taking advantage of the network, the entertainment world of PlayStation continues to grow. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Now I would like to introduce Phil Harrison. Phil?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Masa. It's a great pleasure to be here. One housekeeping notice. I've just been asked to point out that although we are running a little bit late and behind schedule, we have an amazing surprise at the end of the show. So please do make sure you stick around till the very end. So anyway, why am I here? Well, over the next few minutes, I'd like to take you on an illustrated journey. I'd like to take you through some illustrated, creative and technical examples of what the machine is capable of. I hope that what follows will give you an idea of the enormous potential that is unlocked by PlayStation 3. But before we begin, I'd like to take you back in time, back to March 1999, and to the worldwide introduction of PlayStation 2 at the Tokyo International Forum. We showed a demo of a duck that became famous for showing off the capability of PlayStation 2 and the emotion engine and graphic synthesizer. It was also a lot of fun. Why don't we remind ourselves of what that looked like 6 years ago? Here we have our duck in his bathtub, rendered in real time on PlayStation 2 with his best friend, the submarine. So shall we take a look and see what he looks like now on PlayStation 3 and see how he lives today? Let's have a look at the demo. So here's my duck, stunningly rendered in real time. This is me driving it around. Man in suit uses game controller, shock. And we have the ability to render the water in great detail. As I jump the duck in and out, you can see the caustics and all the effects that are being rendered in real time on this fantastic HD display. 2,300 square feet, that TV, by the way. Available in a Best Buy near you tomorrow. So, I do think our duck might be a little lonely. So let's introduce a couple of friends to him. And you can see here these little battleships or galleons that I can move around under my control, which I'll do my best to play 2 players at once, which is challenging, I have to say. And you can see that as I move around the camera, the cloth dynamic is being damaged by the cannonballs in real time, and everything is working in real physics. But I still think our duck's a little bit lonely, don't you? Let me add a couple more ducks into the simulation. So here you have all the physics working and all the collisions and all the dynamics and all the fluid simulation. But he's still a little bit lonely. I think he still needs more friends. So let's stick in a couple more here. And this gives you an example of the overwhelming performance of PlayStation 3 and everything that you can do. Some of them are so happy to leave the bath, they jump out. But I don't think that's enough ducks. I don't think you can ever have enough ducks. And for the technically minded amongst you, this demo uses LOD, which is lots of ducks. Ba-boom. Ah, it did work. Right, now, you think that's impressive, you think that's amazing. We can do more. And to help illustrate what else we can do to this particular demo, I'm going to ask Dr. Richard Marks to join me on stage, the creator of iToy. Come on, Richard, come and join me. Come on, move over there, and I'll get this set up for you. So, what do we have here today, Rick?
So what we've done is we've taken an iToy and plugged it into this demo, this beautiful water demo that shows off this kind of tub. But I've also brought some cups to show you that's kind of cups my children might play with in the bathtub. So as you see, I pick up this cup and I pick up this cup. I can reach out now. And what would I want to do with cups? Well, you can imagine. I would like to just dip the cup in and get some of the water right out of the...
Isn't this incredibly cool?
Reach in, get some more water. Get some water and throw it across the room.
All of this just using a standard iToy camera, but connected directly into PlayStation 3. Rick, that's amazing. Thank you very much indeed. Round of applause for Rick. Great job. Thank you. When we introduced PlayStation 1 to the creative community back in 1993, one of the real-time demos that we showed had a large number of balls bouncing around the screen. There were hundreds of 2D sprites drawn in real time, and back then, it was considered a major advance in computer graphics. 6 years ago, when we introduced PlayStation 2 to the world, the balls had graduated into feathers, and we showed a beautiful demo with about 1,000 feathers swirling across the screen. Some of you may remember that demo. Now, the feathers have become leaves. Now, this is a perfect demonstration, not just of graphics, but actually of what Cell brings to computer entertainment, because in the PlayStation 3 generation, it's not just about how objects look, it's about how they behave. In this demonstration, we have a real-time vortex controlling all of the hundreds of thousands of leaves that you can see in real time. Plus, we've got 5.1 surround sound being created in real time. In fact, the Cell has so much power that every one of the leaves could have its own audio channel if you wanted to hear them rustle. Another example of the tremendous computational power of PlayStation 3 is shown with this next demonstration. It's appropriate that since we're here at the home of Sony Pictures, home of movie magic and special effects, that we show the PlayStation 3's ability to blow stuff up. And what I'd like to do now is to show you a scene from a game that we have in development, which has not yet to be announced, but obviously being a gas station in the middle of the desert and being a digital set, well, surely we should be able to blow it up. So let's blow it up. Now, what this demonstration actually uses is only the cell processor to render volumetrically all of the performance required to simulate an explosion, thermal dynamics, heat, gas, smoke, fire. This is not an animation. This is not something that an artist created. This is all purely physics-based. We can even run it at night. Let's have a look at it with the lights turned down and run it one more time. Here in slow motion, you can see that the heat haze and gases emitted by the simulation accurately represented on screen. Phenomenal example of the power of both PlayStation 3 Cell and RSX. Let's run it one more time, and then we'll move on to the next demo. It's a fantastic presentation. What PlayStation 3 also allows us to do is to converge many of the creative industries that work in the world together on one platform for the first time. And to help demonstrate this, we turn to our friends at Sony Pictures Imageworks, the Oscar-winning special effects wizards from the movie Spider-Man 2. We asked them to borrow some of their precious computer graphic data that they had created for the movie, and we got the wonderful actor Alfred Molina's performance from Spider-Man 2 in computer graphics. And here, we run it in real time on PlayStation 3. I'm amazed at the response, the reaction here. The quality of the image is absolutely fantastic. You can see as we move the camera around that the light moves around also over the face. And this uses a very special technique which is pioneered by, once again, a guy called Paul Debevic, using light stage data. And we can move the light around over the face, and you can see that the shadows are cast realistically, and even the light reflects and transmits through the ears. This is something that the cell processor allows us to get that level of detail into our 3D computer graphics. We can also change to different light stages to show in real time image-based lighting, where we're using the environment to light the character. Here in a forest glade, lighting the Alfred Molina character in real time. And you can see as we move the high dynamic range in and out, you get a phenomenal level of detail. We also were able to put this into the movie performance and use some of the sound from the movie to bring the whole thing together. And let's take a look at that.
Something in my head. Something talking. The inhibitor chip. Gone.
Now, sadly, Alfred Molina couldn't be with us today, but we decided to light him as if he was. And we took a light probe from this room earlier on today. And here, this is what he would have looked like if he had been lit in real time by this lighting in this room. And you can see the light probe data lighting the character. And as we move into the eyes in particular, you can see the fantastic reflections that this gives us. Now, this is going to just give you some idea of the level of intensity and immersion that we're going to get from games on PlayStation 3 and the amount of storytelling ability that we will have working with amazing creators and amazing actors. It's a great demonstration. Next up, we're going to show, yeah, I think that's worth a round of applause. This next demonstration was written by the brilliant engineers at the STI Development Center, the creators of the Cell chip. And this demo, which is a real-time demonstration of a landscape being created by two bits of data, one being two-dimensional satellite imagery taken from outer space, and the other being three-dimensional height maps collected from LiDAR, which is basically a laser ranging system flown over with an aircraft. And in real time on the cell, those two bits of data are combined together to create, in software only, this three-dimensional landscape. This does not use the RSX at all. So this gives you an example of the tremendous performance that we get from Cell. Even the clouds are generated procedurally using Perlin noise effects. Really stunning example of where the immersion in games will go from here on in. This next demonstration also uses a landscape, but in a very different style and a very different setting, but equally impressive creatively and technically. This was created by our colleagues at Sony Online Entertainment and shows a beautifully rendered fantasy world. But what's the cool thing about this demo is the fact that the world can grow in front of your eyes. And so here you see the grass growing, the flowers growing, organic environments being built real time in front of the player. You can imagine what this could mean to online games, but you could also imagine what this could mean to the ability for the player to influence his own environment and influence his own world while he's playing the game. Here the water, beautifully rendered, and all the characters, and all the leaves and all the petals growing around you. Really beautiful demonstration of RSX and Cell working together. Now, from a complex and sophisticated landscape to a complex and sophisticated city, in this case, London. London was the setting for Team Soho's epic crime thriller, The Getaway, and for the past 3 months, a team of 6 people has been working to show their vision of the future of that franchise on PlayStation 3, and they would like to share it with the world for the first time today. Now, this demonstration uses a lot of the real-world rendering techniques that we've seen in earlier demonstrations, and it's not just about graphics. We can see in this demo a tremendous amount of detail in the 3D objects, which are beautifully rendered with amazing lighting and amazing detail. But the real purpose of this demo is to show how a city in a future video game would come to life with the complex simulation of traffic, the complex simulation of the way people move around, the way they make the city live and breathe, and how they have their own lives, hundreds of individual people on the scene at any one time. And I think this demo is a great example of what a next-generation PlayStation 3 game is actually going to deliver in terms of immersion and richness and detail to the scene. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that all the cars have the same license plate number, but this is only a bug you discover when you fly halfway around the world and show it to the world. So I apologize for that, but you can see beautiful high dynamic range lighting here in the scene. Really a good example of what we're going to see for the future. Now, the next vision piece that we're going to show shows how multiple forms of entertainment can share the same technical and creative DNA. And what we wanted to do here was to imagine and share with you an example of what happens when you take 2 billion-dollar franchises, one from the video game business and one from the movie industry, and collide them together on PlayStation 3. I think this demo needs no further introduction. Let's take a look.
No playing in the streets.
Yes, Mr. Spider-Man.
See ya.
That's amazing, isn't it? Can you imagine what Sam Raimi and Kazunori Yamauchi would create if they got together to form a new project? But I should be at pains to point out that that is not the next game from either PDI or the next movie from Mr. Raimi. So anyway, while we're in the world of movies, let's show an example of the Cell's ability to decode high-definition streams in real time. Now, as many of you know, the current most powerful PCs on the planet struggle to decode just a single stream of HD. But here on PlayStation 3 Cell, we can decode 12 simultaneously. and we can select any one of them to become the main full HD screen. And this is an example of how you could navigate multiple HD streams simultaneously coming off Blu-ray disc or coming off a network. And I think gives you just a taster of what media navigation in the future is going to look like. Now, as Masa was sharing with us earlier on, media navigation is at the heart of PlayStation 3's operating system DNA. And this next demonstration gives you another example of how media can be browsed on formats of the future. Here, the cell is decoding 1,000 media thumbnails simultaneously. Now, these could be movie data, game data, could be your family photographs. It could actually be your friends on video chat anywhere in the world. It could be the IP camera anywhere in the world. So, that's it for the show and tell. And as I think you can see from the demos that we've just seen, PlayStation 3 delivers astounding performance and creative possibilities to the development community. Right now, all around the world, game developers are hard at work making this potential become reality. And here to tell you more about the games that will make PlayStation 3 come alive, I'd like you to welcome back Kaz Hirai. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil. As you heard from Ken Kutaragi, Masa Chatani, and Phil Harrison, PlayStation 3 is set to deliver the quantum leap the industry expects to help us lead the digital decade. No doubt about it, PlayStation 3 is a powerful machine under the hood. But what about the games? Our development partners have been diligently working with PlayStation 3 architecture for some time in order to deliver the type of gaming experience that consumers will expect from the next generation, and they have prepared some pretty exciting stuff to share with you today. So first, it gives me great pleasure to introduce this company back to our stage again this year. They have been a staunch supporter of the PlayStation format over the years, and we are truly inspired what they have produced on the PlayStation 3 so far. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome back Electronic Arts Chairman and CEO, Mr. Larry Probst.
Thank you. Thank you, Kaz. The history of the PlayStation has been marked by great games for the consumers and for the incredible opportunities that Sony Computer Entertainment has created for game developers. In 1994, EA signed on as a charter member of the PlayStation 1 team. Then in 1999, we made a huge bet. We passed on some other platform alternatives and dedicated our worldwide studios to supporting the PlayStation 2. When PlayStation 2 launched in 2000, EA was there with 6 titles, including Madden, NBA Live, and SSX. We like to believe those were some of the games that showed the early fans what the PlayStation 2 could really do. In total, EA has produced about 250 titles and sold more than 220 million units on the 2 PlayStation consoles combined. But beyond the business, a lot of talented artists have found their calling in this medium created by Sony. And a lot of game lovers have enjoyed countless hours of entertainment. For all that business, all that creativity, all that entertainment, I think we owe the team at Sony a round of applause. Today we're in transition, preparing for the PlayStation 3. At EA, we like to say transition is our friend. It's challenging, but it always results in dramatically better games and bigger markets. How much better will the games be? Rather than telling you, I brought someone who can actually show you. Let me introduce the general manager of EA's Chicago studio, Kudo Tsunoda. And Kudo is also the executive producer of Fight Night.
All right, so the game we're going to show you is EA Sports Fight Night, which is EA's boxing franchise. And this demo, I truly believe, is a big first step forward towards delivering a new, more emotionally immersive game experience on the PS3. So I've been working on Fight Night since the beginning of the franchise, and I just can't tell you like how exciting it is as a developer to finally have the technology in our hands to build the Fight Night game that we've been looking to build all these years. So well, enough of me yapping, let's fire up the demo. And just to be clear though, this is all running live in real time on renderware on the PS3.
It's the king of the ring, combination slanger, skill and technique, old foe mania. I'm deep in the trenches, training for months. I'm like a prize fighter, giving left jab, left hooks, overhand rights, followed by an uppercut, turning out your lights.
All right. So as you know, in boxing, it's these big, like bone-crushing, devastating punches that really bring out the drama and the emotion of the sport. Obviously, what we're looking to do, you can see graphically now just how we're able to emphasize the brutality of the punches. But what we really want is the person at home, like playing the game, to kind of get that same gut-clenching, stomach-tightening feeling that you would have if you were actually in the ring seeing that punch land. And I think that's like the biggest goal for us on Fight Night PS3. It's all about like, hey, having the person playing the game really feel those same kind of emotions and reactions that a boxer in the ring would feel, and then using those emotions to like tell the story of our fight. So let me show you how we're going to do that. So the first thing in building an emotionally believable character is making the character look visually real. And that's like really hard in our game because pretty much everybody who plays our game knows what a human being looks like. And so if there's anything off in the character, like the human eye is going to know. But you can see how far we've come just in being able to kind of deliver a realistic human form in game. But it's not enough just to make a nice picture. We really got to bring that picture to life. And we do that with all the different facial animations we have on our character, animating both the geometry on the boxer's face and the textures of their skin to produce the most realistic looking facial expressions that we've seen in video games. But again, it's not really about, hey, having just the best looking boxer. At least that's where it starts. But what we're trying to do is, again, bring the heart and soul of the boxer to the forefront over the course of the fight. And that's really hard in a boxing game because there's such a wide range of emotions that a boxer experiences. So I mean, it goes anywhere from like the real intense kind of fury and anger that a boxer puts behind their most powerful punches, to that kind of like, hey, when a boxer gets hit, that really dazed and confused and hurt look that you see on the boxer's face. But once we're able to really get those emotions across to the user, they now become the new in-game indicators, to tell the player the status of what's going on in the fight. And I think, again, really, that's our big goal for Fight Night PS3, is we're getting, hey, the people like in the ring, like you're playing at home, you're able to see, hey, all the different kind of things going on in the other boxer's mind, and use that to your advantage to figure out what tactics and strategies that you're going to use to be successful. And with the PS3, we're now able to take the person out of the living room and put them right in the ring. And hey, that's why I love developing games for PlayStation 3. Larry?
Thanks, Kudo. Fight Night 3 looks amazing on the PlayStation 3. At EA, we're making another big bet. We think PlayStation 3 is going to change the world of entertainment, and the EA studios are 100% committed to help make that happen. Kutaragi-san, Kaz, Andrew, and Jack, thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry and Kudo, and all the folks at Electronics Arts for being here today. As always, your products continue to push conventional boundaries. Thank you very much. Now, we're pleased to have with us a company known across the globe as the greatest storyteller in the role-playing game category. Their leading franchise, Final Fantasy, has sold more than 60 million copies worldwide. To get a sense of how Square Enix views next-generation development, it is my pleasure to welcome the company's president, Mr. Yoichi Wada.
どうもよろしくお願いします。Thank you very much for the introduction, Mr. Hirai.
Reeves が落ちたとなると、アルケイディア軍のダルマスカ侵攻を妨げるものは何もありません。奴らが国境に達するのは時間の問題です。ガレテアの壁をそなた。ありがたき幸せ。
With the threat of all-out war on the horizon, the Arcadian Empire invades and subjugates its neighboring kingdoms one by one. Dalmasca, the stage on which this tale is set, is one such kingdom.
さあ、坊主！観念してそいつを俺に渡すんだ。お行儀よくしてないとしたかん。
ラマナスタ市民諸君、帝国が憎いか、この私を憎んでいるか。私は逃げることなく憎しみを受け止め、背負い、そしてダルマスカを守ろう。まだだ、まだ魔法障壁がある。これは私の償いである。ラスラ様。
The story of an age when magic was commonplace, and airships plied the skies, crowding out the heavens. Final Fantasy 12.
The images you just witnessed are from Final Fantasy 12, currently planned for North American release in the 2006 fiscal year. You will be pleased to note that Sony has announced that their next generation game console will be fully backward compatible with PlayStation 2 software. Please look forward to all that lies ahead. Now, I'd like to switch the focus of my speech to Square Enix's involvement in PS3 software development. First, let me give you an example of a technical demonstration our dedicated team has put together. The images you just saw are from Final Fantasy VII. Thanks to the PS3's powerful third processor, our acclaimed classic has never looked better. Please note that we have seen is merely a sample, and we currently have no plans on releasing a remake of Final Fantasy VII. However, Square Enix is committed to fully backing Sony's new console. Plans to bring the Final Fantasy series to the PS3 are just beyond the horizon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wada, for joining us today on this very special occasion. You've heard great things and seen promising game content from both Electronic Arts and Square Enix, two of the industry's major players. But let's listen to what some other creators are saying about PlayStation 3.
For us at Insomniac, making better games means creating a more immersive experience, an experience that convinces you that you are actually talking to real characters. You're in real world, even though they may be sci-fi worlds or fantasy worlds. What we're looking forward to on the PlayStation 3 is being able to take advantage of the cell's raw horsepower to create more sophisticated physics, to control hundreds of characters on screen, each of which is controlled by its own AI system. I think the cell signals the convergence of mainstream entertainment and games that everyone has been talking about for the last 10 years. The PlayStation 3 should give us the ability to do all of these things.
I'm very excited at the possibilities that the next generation of PlayStation presents. Thanks to the powerful features of PS3, we can create the kinds of high-quality graphics that until now could only be seen in movies and create them in real time. This is a truly incredible thing. The first title will be a simultaneous game and movie released previously called Oni, which is now officially titled Neo. It's a story that famous Japanese director Akira Kurosawa wanted to film. The other two titles will be large titles and will present all new kinds of entertainment. We will reveal more about these titles soon. We at Koei feel that the next generation of PlayStation will revolutionize video gaming, and we are planning to create games that will surprise and entertain gamers everywhere.
PlayStation 3 will make it possible to simulate worlds in real time and simulate interactivity for the consumer as never before. The visuals on PlayStation 3, of course, will be a huge jump, and with going to HD TV alone, it will be quite amazing what we'll see. But the most exciting feature for us really is the cell technology in there. The CPU is so much more powerful than anything not only seen before, but also what we were expecting for this next generation of consoles. That really makes things possible on a scale which will really show people what next generation is all about.
絵とサウンドは当然綺麗になってハリウッドの、CG レベルのものがリアルタイムで動くというのはまずその必ずなると思いますね。そこからが僕らのやっぱり、喜びとか腕の見せ所なんですけども、プレイステーション3に向けてですね、今どこ考えているのは、見えない世界を、見えないところに力を注ぐぞという、そういうことをまず考えているんですよ。送り手としてはそういうのを考えながら、作るべきだと思いますし、そういう作れる環境がようやく手に入るのかなというふうには思います。
I think what we're most looking forward to creating in a PlayStation 3 game is a truly realized, truly immersive, living, breathing world. This is what we live for. You know, every 5 or 6 years, this amazing company like Sony comes along and gives you this wonderful new piece of equipment that allows you to start unlocking your visions and unlocking the dreams that you've been having for however long. With Cell and with PlayStation 3, we feel very excited and very confident that we're going to be able to absolutely push the limits of what can be created and the experiences that we can immerse our audience in. We really know that we're going to be able to go to the next level in terms of realistic simulations and realistic immersions combined with incredible narrative, incredible storytelling, and those two components combined are what are going to create the experiences of the future.
And just to add to Mr. Kojima's comments, yes, Metal Gear Solid 4 will be coming to PlayStation 3. When we were in the planning stages for this event, we asked many of our development partners, including several teams within our own internal studios, to submit content to be shown today. We expected to see a few bright lights and a couple of diamonds in the rough, as it is early in the development process. Some of the best, most renowned gaming franchises, like Gran Turismo, Metal Gear Solid, Grand Theft Auto, were all born on PlayStation. And it's hard to imagine how these will evolve with the power of PlayStation 3. Our partners have prepared a glimpse into this future to share with you today. So let's take a look at what fans have to look forward to.
seconds to touchdown.
Okay, listen up. Hernandez, Boyle,
Hold on tight.
touchdown.
Get off this thing. Move towards the bridge.
Get him off the beach. Get off the beach now.
The hell, guys?
There's a charge, you son of a bitch. Jesus, oh my God. Now! Wait for my command! Clear! Now! Come on! Let's go! Let's go! The alarm is coming up on your right side!
All right. All this looks fantastic, don't you agree? All right. That's what I like to hear. So existing franchises are really the foundation. But to build an amazing platform, we need to reinvigorate the market with something new and something different. So our next video is a small sampling of new games and future franchises being born on PlayStation 3. So let's take a look at those.
you are.
Okay.
You're ready?
Yes, let's go.
Where is he? Time is running out.
Hurry.
What's so funny? Hey, you too, mister. Hi.
How's it going out there?
Target in sight, all according to plan. So boring.
Okay, let's switch to our plan.
Roger. We'll go in, but keep an eye on us, okay?
Body freak, get away the beat. Body, yeah, electrical
So a lot of new exciting titles to look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Ken Kutaragi.
I hope you've enjoyed this monster machine and outstanding software showcase throughout the presentation. And now, I have the final and the biggest announcement. Everyone, this is PlayStation 3.
Congratulations. Yeah. Well, all of us at Sony Computer Entertainment would like to thank you very much for joining us today on the eve of E3 2005. As you can see, we have a lot of new, exciting things in store for our collective future. But please, don't take my word for it. Please feel free to stop by our booth to experience the world of PlayStation for yourself. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
And I'm Oliver Nishad. You know, Stacy, it feels like just yesterday we were right here at E3 2004.
We were. The year goes by so fast, and I gotta tell you, every year they outdo what they did last year. So many new games.
And this is a very special year at E3 because it is the year of, can you believe it, the brand new consoles.
And Joel Gordine, our very own FanCam operator, he's gonna have interviews, lots of celebrities.
You know, he's also gonna have two, not one, but two cameras strapped to his head, so you gotta check back. He's gonna get in a ton of trouble.
Behave yourself, Joel. And that's not it. We've got another surprise for you. While we're out hitting the floor, our own King Kong of audio, he's gonna be voicing stories. Brian, isn't that right?
That's right, guys. I'm stuck here in a dark sound booth with no video games. Thanks.
Yeah, see what we mean.
All right, everybody, we're gonna kick off, and we're gonna start the action right now. Oliver, I'm gonna head to the South Hall. Where are you headed?
I'm headed over to the West Hall, so listen, you guys, check back with us often and prepare to get floored at E3.
Let's go have some fun.
Let's go.
When it comes to Sony's booth, money, it's no object. Take a look around. They've got the equivalent of 6 movie theater screens, and they hauled in over 1 million pounds of equipment. So sit back, relax. We are gonna take you on a tour of Sony's hottest titles. One of the sports titles Sony's highlighting this year is NBA 06. I'm here with Brandon, who's a designer and a story developer for the game, and he's gonna tell us why it's so cool.
Basically, the cool part about it, it's a gameplay-driven story, which means we take your character, create a character from draft night, which you do get drafted, and we take them all the way to the postseason.
Next up on our Sony tour, a game that's got everybody buzzing, Jak X. I'm here with Evan Wells, who's co-president of Naughty Dog. He's going to tell us why there's so much buzz around this game.
Well, Jak X is the latest edition of the Jak X franchise, which has sold over 7.5 million units worldwide. And this time we're taking it online. It's a racing game, combat racing. There's racing elements as well as head-to-head arena combat. It's really cool. We're going 6 players online at a time. You got split screen multiplayer. You can play 2 players split screen at home, online with your friends. We also have compatibility with Daxter PSP this time. Well, you link them together with the USB cable, and you can unlock secrets in each of the games. So you unlock some the Daxter PSP stuff in Jak X. You get new racers, you get new cars, so you can get some special items that you couldn't get in Jak X alone.
Another hot title on Sony's roster this year, Shadow of the Colossus. Right now, we're going to get an exclusive look at the gameplay, and I got to tell you, you can spend up to 20 minutes unlocking the puzzle of one single Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus, like many of the PS2 games in Sony's booth, is an absolute looker. And look for all these games to be out by holiday 2005.
I'm David Reeves. I'm the president of Sony Computer Entertainment in Europe. The ones that are going to be big on PlayStation 3, undoubtedly from what we've seen so far, and it's obviously, it's not the whole list, you haven't seen everything. Motorstorm, which you saw from Evolution Studios, which is the subcontractor, is going to be big. Killzone from Guerrilla, we think that is going to be an absolutely, to use your words, an awesome title. The Namco people are developing very, very hard, and they tend to get the dev kits in Japan first, so they're going to come out with the great games. Square, Namco, Konami. You're going to see sports games, some soccer games, which are just going to be amazing. It's going to be like looking at the World Cup on TV when you see some of those games. The key to it is the match between cell computing. What is cell computing? It's like cyber computing. It's in mathematics, it's called floating point. How fast can you compute something? You've got to link that to a perfect graphics chip. That's the output. That's how it's going to look on the screen. What Kutaragi thinks he's found with PlayStation 3 is that perfect match. It's like the perfect storm, right? And that's what they think they have found. That's why in only 2 months they've been able to produce those demos. They have blown me away. I was very surprised with some of the stuff that you saw on Motorstorm and what was the other one, on Killzone. The Ducks is fine. It's okay, yeah, it's good for show, but for people to be able to put those things together on Heavenly Sword as well is just amazing. You probably saw yesterday at the SCEI show, there were computer guys from PC development, Unreal. They had not seen PS3 kits before. They were PC developers. They took them under 2 months to put together something really, really phenomenal. Eventually, you're going to be able to interact PSP with PS3, which is also wireless. That's the exciting part of it. And that was, many people missed that in the announcement, and it was that PS3 and PSP are in fact quite compatible.
We're off the Sony floor. Behind the scenes, we're going to give you your exclusive look at the PS3. Now, they don't even show it on the floor. They're not showing any titles running on it. Absolutely nothing, but you guys, take a look at that. Here it is, your sneak peek at the PS3. Is it everything you imagined it to be? Shiny, beautiful. Release date spring, release year 2006, cost priceless. Actually, Sony hasn't set a price on it yet, but if you keep your ears peeled, I'm sure we'll be hearing about it soon.
Hi, my name is Tony Tamasi. I'm the Vice President of Technical Marketing for NVIDIA. We're here at E3 to talk to you about a number of really exciting things that we're doing. Of course, the thing that's probably foremost in everyone's mind is the PS3. So, of course, we announced the RSX technology with Sony a few days ago in their press conference. It's going to be amazing technology. Frankly, the combination of the cell processor and the RSX graphics processor is going to bring a whole new level to games and technology. 2 teraflops of floating point performance really is an amount of graphics computation power that's unheard of. It's orders of magnitude more powerful than anything that we've seen ever before. More than 300 million transistors, 512 megabytes of render memory. It's going to be a phenomenal platform, so we're really excited to be participating with Sony on that. So the demo that you see behind me is actually a demo we put together for PS3. We call her Luna. She's several 100,000 polygons, and we're actually rendering several million polygons per second. The actual complexity that we're using for this demo uses several hundred pixel shader instructions per pixel. That's more than 10 times the complexity of any previous generation demo that we've ever done in real time. If you look at her, it's actually cinematic quality. In fact, the quality of the rendering that you see in Luna is comparable to some movies that were done just a couple years ago. Her skin does an accurate model of human skin, including blood maps, surface map, tone maps, subsurface scattering. Her hair is incredibly realistic and dynamic. There's a very complex physics model behind that. And if you look at her suit, not only does it have some really interesting specular properties to it, but as the light shines or the plasma beam goes, you actually get this high dynamic range or this glow behind it. These are these kinds of effects you're going to see in the next generation games on the PS3 with the technology we bring to bear with the RSX graphics processor. The PS3 is probably going to be the platform of the decade. We're really excited to be participating with Sony in that, and we can't wait to see what the developers are going to bring to bear with games coming starting next year.
Hi, I'm Kyle Schubel, a producer on Genji Dawn of the Samurai with Sony America. We are bringing this title in from Japan. This is being done by Game Republic, which is Okamoto-san's new company after he left Capcom. They do have about 4 or 5 different titles that they're working on right now, but this will be their flagship product. I'm going to show you a brief demo here real quick of the gameplay that we're showing here at E3. I'm going to go ahead and start this off real quick. I'll give you the story in a moment, but I'm going to show you the Mind's Eye demo on the screen here. This is a new feature that we've got going on the game, where we basically have a bullet time-esque kind of fighting sequence where you can do slow time fighting with a sword. Kind of a neat feature. I'll cover that again when we get actually into gameplay. Genji Dawn of the Samurai is based loosely on the Tale of Genji, which is considered by most to be the first piece of fiction written by man. It was written in the 11th century Heian era of Japan, written in the noble courts. We're taking some liberal changes to it, being that it's a 1,300-page book that most of us probably haven't read. What you've got here is the interface to show you how to get through the world. I'm going to go ahead and go up to the first area here and show some bad guys while I tell you a bit more of the story. You're going to be playing as Yoshitsune through most of the game. He is the illegitimate son of the emperor, hence why he has some of his above-natural powers. We also are adding in an aspect of the Amahagane, which is a divine stone that bestows supernatural powers on its owner. You've got basically a number of sword fighting skills that you can exploit here. You've got just normal attacks, but you can also get these special attacks. Oh, you can get stabbed in the back like that too. But effectively, you've got a very nice motion capture system in here. Ken Watanabe's stunt double from Last Samurai was actually used for much of the sword fighting motion capture in the game. As you can see, we've got a number of cut sequences here. There'll be over an hour of FMV in the game. We are keeping the original Japanese voiceovers in there because we didn't feel that we could do it justice, having almost a cheesy kung fu film kind of bad lip syncing. So you'll have the original Japanese voiceover and then a English subtitle on it. Kind of keeps a very traditional feel to it. But you do have this fighting style is basically taken loosely off of a concept called tate, which is the relationship between the person giving the cut and the person receiving the cut. That is something, it's more of a cinematic gesture that most people expect from feature films rather than from video games. To my knowledge, it hasn't been done to date on a video game. So what we're doing here is you'll actually see that the characters will react to the way I'm attacking them and generate a better cut, which is almost like out of a feature film. Saike-san was consulted on this tate style. He has done 12+ movies in Japan, so much of the sword fighting that you're used to seeing in films, almost like a Kurosawa-esque fighting. You can fight multiple opponents. You'll have 8 to 12 on the screen at a time. You'll be able to bounce all over the place. I'm actually going to pick this up real quick here. As you can see, you do have items, so you do have an RPG style to the game, where you can actually build up your character, gain levels, get more abilities. You will be able to play as an additional character called Benkei, who is a warrior monk character. He's basically a big bruiser, almost like a Paul Bunyan character for Japan. what you can probably easily refer to this as, it's almost like the story of King Arthur for the Japanese. We've got a very fantastical character. He is fictional, but he has some basis in reality. The reason why we call it the Dawn of the Samurai, he's considered by many to be the first samurai as we entered into the era of Bushido in the way of the warrior. You just saw me level up there. That's going to show you some of the aspects where we can actually go and look at your character, where you get the different statistics, and you got different equipment that you can equip, armor that you can gain, etc., going through the game. Going to show you one of the bosses here real quick. Now, as you're going through the story, most of it will be fighting, or the beginning portions will be fighting against humanoid opponents, which we can all relate to. Ah, that's not the right way. Later on in the game, you'll actually progress into the more dark areas of the game, where you're actually fighting demons and such, and getting into the more supernatural, which lends itself well to that Amahagane aspect that we're bringing in. This is one of the boss characters. This is a bad guy who has an Amahagane of his own, so he's got some of the same superpowers that you've got. So I'm going to go ahead and clear some of his goons out of the way first. All right. Find it very difficult to talk while I'm carving through this guy, so I'm going to try and get rid of him, dispatch him quickly. All right, come on. You know you want to lay down, just get it over with. There we go. So basically, you can take down the bosses by gathering their Amahagane. You can gain more power as you progress through the story. And pretty much, that is the tale of Genji.
What's going on, guys? Joel Gordine here with the FanCam. I'm in Sony's booth right now. It's an absolute media extravaganza. Check this out. Can you believe this? This screen is literally probably about 70 feet long, advertising all the games they're going to release for the PS2 this year. Now, they have a lot of high-profile releases that I'm going to kind of breeze over. Stuff you're going to want to see, a lot of sequels to important games. They're showing Onimusha right now. On this screen, I've seen Onimusha, Sly 3, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, Mark Echo's Contents Under Pressure. A lot of high-profile releases. I don't know about you guys, I'm getting more and more impressed with PS2's graphical capabilities as time goes on. Pretty great stuff. Here we have Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams. I'm sure you guys have read a lot about this game. It's the fourth Onimusha game. The hype on this game is that it'll feature multiplayer, which we are definitely looking forward to. Interesting thing about the Sony booth is they have a development stage gauge with every game, so you can tell where it's at. Onimusha, they say, is at 40% right now. Interesting. This is Sly 3. Those of you who have played this game, I love this series. I think it's a great throwback to the days of great platforming. They've really done great things with this game. Really done amazing things. You know what? It seems to be 3D. Sly 3 is 3D. How about that? They have glasses right here for you to wear. Very cool. Soul Calibur 3. Important PS2 exclusive. Important stuff. What's going on, man? You got a new character going on here? Let's see it. Who we got? Got Killick and Talum. Classic match. Beautiful graphics. So GameCube and Xbox owners, you're going to be disappointed you won't see this. PS2 only. So make our way through the booth. We've got Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked. Another high-profile sequel. Guys can see they're going for a slightly darker look, a little hipper. Ratchet's got an exosuit on. They're going for a good multiplayer on this, a strong multiplayer aspect. Should be a good game. And this has been getting a lot of attention lately. Mark Echo's getting up, content's under pressure. A lot of people are hyped on this game. Let's see what's going on with getting up, content's under pressure. The urban landscape looks amazing. Very interactive. See our lead character walking around on a pipe, tagging. Very interactive environment. It's like Street Tony Hawk, very cool. And over here, if we make our way over here, just want you guys to get an idea of the scope. This line right here is for the PS3 experience, which they have going on upstairs. It's only a demo. PS3 is not available to play, which stinks, because I'd really be in there. But this is a demo showing the capabilities of the PS3. And this is the line. You guys see it? See what's going on up there? This is all PSP promotion. Little bubble chair action. Each bubble chair features its own PSP with its own separate game. People just hanging out playing. That's like the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's as futuristic and good looking as the PSP itself. Go take a look, take a closer look in here. Check out everyone playing. Very cool. All Sony, guys. All Sony. PSP, come out and play. There we go. The Sony booth 2005. What do you think? Does it compete with Nintendo? Microsoft? Pretty hot. More to come.
I'm Brian Hastings. I'm creative director on Ratchet Deadlocked, and I'm here to give you a demo of Ratchet Deadlocked. Here we go. Here you see, this is the Deadly Meteor Temple of Shar. I'm going to quickly switch weapons. We have a new quick select up there. I'm going to pull out my dual machine gun. On the left and right, you can see I have two combat bots that are fighting with me. They're using laser sights to take out some of those swarmer creatures down there. Right here, we have two security orbs. Now, in order to get past this, I'm going to command my my combat bots to hack these orbs. So there you go. One of them is using his hack array, and while he's doing that, I suddenly get ambushed by some more of these guys. Now he's just finished, and he just created a bridge to go across to this area. There's some more orbs, so I'm going to command him to take over those orbs. You can give your combat bots a lot of different commands at any given time, and it's context sensitive. So the bottom left there shows you some of the different commands you can do. You can have up to 4 different commands at any given time. So when you run into, you'll have dynamic grind rails you'll create. You'll have different tactical strategies you can do, like flanking, distracting, EMP, large enemies, things like that. So Ratchet's been captured, and he's forced to compete in an underground combat sport, which is like the galaxy's largest reality television show. And he has to fight for his life here. He just got into the Landstalker, and you can see dropships are landing from all directions, and Ratchet's about to take him out. I'm using the mortar launchers here to take this guy out. There we go. Under attack. So the combat bots are jumped in this thing with me, and as soon as we get over to that pillar of light over there, that's going to be our next objective. That's the node we want to take over. Now the combat bots are going to help me out, and they're going to take the node for me while I distract and take out all the approaching enemies. So here comes trouble. So I jump out, and I pick that node option on the left there is for them to take the node while I launch out some of these mines. Mine's a great weapon. You can just toss them out whenever you think you're going to get ambushed. In this case, the ambush is over, so we're turning around and heading back over to the next pillar of light. So here I'm commanding my bots to open some of these doors. We're getting ambushed from the side. Dropships are coming in. These are the dual machine guns here. I'm going to quickly switch over to, this is the flail. Flail is a very effective weapon for clearing out anyone who's just swarming around you. So if you have a lot of ground troops swarming around you, take them out. As you can see, it's pretty effective. We opened up the path on the left, so advancing here, getting ambushed. Now, the flail has been equipped with the freeze mod, which means that when I hit anybody with it, they'll freeze and they can be defeated instantly with the wrench or by the combat bots. So it's really effective for when you're being ambushed by large enemies. You can freeze them and then have your bots take them out while you focus on something else. If you're playing in co-op, one of the fun things is you're playing split screen and you can pick one, say the Puma, and the other guy can pick the hover bike, and you're going out and you have firepower from two different vehicles at the same time. So I could hop on this hover bike here, or I could hop in the Puma here. The Puma is a little bit like our turbo slider from the last game, but it's got higher firepower and it's a bit faster. So let's see, just laying waste to everyone in front of me. I'm gonna pop out and hop over into one of our hover bikes. So if you're playing co-op, you can also go two hover bikes at the same time. So I really like if you try the controls on the hover bikes, they're really kind of fluid. There's a Leviathan attacking me. The strategy with them is to try to get behind them while you're blasting, and the hover bikes are really good for that. This is a time mission because everything is very combat oriented and focused around this reality show. You have a number of different missions with a lot of different themes to them. And it's all about building up your gladiator rankings throughout this, and defeating other gladiators and defeating the exterminators who are out to kill you. So in this case, I need to find the objectives on the map, and I need to pay attention to my radar and get over to them. So here you have, this is Ratchet Deadlocked. It's a very new direction for the Ratchet series, and it's very intense. I think it's the most intense action combat we've ever done with Ratchet, and we're very excited about it.
Man, Sony knows how to treat its gamers right. I'm playing the PSP right now, actually World Tour Soccer. There were about 24 titles at launch, currently about 30, and 100 titles in development for the PSP. Feature Sony's offering for the PSP and the PS2 is a syncing feature. So for example, if you're playing your PSP, Daxter, you take him to a certain level, you sync it up with your PlayStation 2, your character on your PlayStation 2 is at that level, and doors are unlocked, worlds are unlocked. It's on Daxter and SOCOM right now, but more titles are in development.
Hi, my name is Kyle Schubel. I'm the Sony Computer America producer for Shadow of the Colossus, which my screen just went blank. Let's go ahead and get you back there. Yes, Shadow of the Colossus, which is coming out of Japan. This is a first-party title out of Japan from the famed Ico team. The Ico team's been working on this pretty much since Ico shipped in 2001. They pretty much realized that everybody wanted more, So they decided to raise the bar on the entire industry. The one thing they wanted me to make sure to tell everybody is this is not a sequel. We are not a sequel to Ico. What they've done is they've generated a new world cut from the same palette, kind of giving the same look and feel as Ico. And everybody knows Ico for the puzzles. That was the way everybody thought about it and the way they played the game. What they've done here is they've made the puzzles living beings. So you have a living puzzle. These Colossus are monstrous. These beasts are just amazing, and you got to take down many Colossus that have different types and different abilities. You've got bipeds, quadrupeds. What it comes down to is young boy right here, armed with his sword and his bow, has to go and take down the giant beast to save his loved one, which happens to be right here and recently deceased. As you can see, the camera is very cinematic. It automatically did that. I'm not making any effort to change things around here. It just kind of gives you a feel for what's going on. You've got the temple that you're basing everything out of with the statues of the different Colossus in it, and it's going to reveal to you what you need to do next, and that is not climb up the backside of a horse. Thank you very much. All right, so what you've got here is your horse Agro, A-G-R-O, which he's your trusty steed and companion. He's not just used as a mode of transportation in the game, he also is very helpful in taking down the Colossus. Your sword is magical, so you can use it to hold it up here and look around using the light to reflect off of it. And that's what reveals to you where the Colossus is. Where the light focuses into a pinpoint, that's where you need to go. The boy is quite acrobatic. He has a lot of abilities here, including doing things like standing on the back of the horse like he is right now. You can still guide the horse while you're standing on its back. You do have to use that on occasion in game to be able to almost do a train robbery style bordering of a fast-moving large Colossus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back here to the first Colossus we got here at the demo. This will be a medium-sized Colossus that you'll be fighting. There are a number that are larger, a few that are a bit smaller. This one's pretty straightforward. You can relate to him. He's a biped. Now, in moments in the game, you're going to get reveals here, like the camera showing me here. This is how I have to get up there. This is basically an environmental puzzle, vaguely similar to Ico. What you've got to do now is you have to get up to the top to take down that Colossus. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to climb this wall because it's a climbable surface, and that's what I like to do. And now you'll be able to go through the area here, and basically this is also a tutorial teaching you how to take down a Colossus, since you have to use these same skills on the Colossus himself. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of contextual animation here that's very streamlined. It feels very natural as you're going through. Like I'm going to accidentally step off this cliff here, and you'll watch him lose his balance. Whoa! Oh, good thing I grabbed down there. So, you basically have a lot of contextual animations that they put in, specifically because you're going to be clambering around on a moving platform, basically, as you're trying to solve the puzzle of how to take down this Colossus. So we're almost there now. Okay. So as you go through these different Colossus, you do have 52 different areas that you have to go through that are all 600 meters by 600 meters, trying to get to arenas similar to this one right here. I've just woken the Colossus. I know you guys can't feel this, but the rumbles going on the DualShock here, I can feel every one of his footsteps. He's that big. This guy is monstrous. I'm gonna go ahead and let him get a head start on me. See if I can't run him down and coax him into giving me a hand. Effectively, the way the story goes, you have to defeat each of the Colossus to gain their essence, and that essence is used to bring her back to life. I can look up at the Colossus so I can find him if I ever lose him in the environment, which, as frightening as it sounds, you do occasionally lose something this large. Kind of like your car keys. You always think you know where it is, but they're somewhere else. Now I'm going to get his attention here and see if I can get him to crouch down for me, make my life a little bit easier getting up on him. Come on. There you go. So basically, half of the fun is figuring out how you got to defeat one of these beasties. He's unhappy with me right now. He can feel me on his fur, so he's sort of kicking and bucking around. Now I am losing my energy right here because I'm hanging out too long. So I'm going to sit down here real quick and gain my energy back. Now normally while you're up here, what you're going to also want to do is you have to shine the light off of your sword. Whoa, Nelly, hang on. There we go. You have to shine the light off the sword to identify the weak spots on the Colossus. So the sword serves both purposes of finding the Colossus and also helping you in defeating them. In the E3 demo, we've already revealed the spot to make it a little more user-friendly. It's right up on top of his head. Nice, convenient spot to have a weak spot. He doesn't like me on his fur. I feel like a flea, I think. Whoa, hey, stay still. So that spot right there, that glowing spot's where the money shot's gonna be. Oh, he doesn't like me up there. Let's go ahead and get his attention. Oh, he didn't like that. You can see his health drop down a little bit there. And one more, and I should be able to get him. Oh, yeah, he's got a migraine right now. It's pretty bad. So basically, by taking down this Colossus, you're gonna get to watch the shot here. Unfortunately, you can't hear the music. The emotion in this game is what's amazing. The music right here dropped into a somber, almost sad tone, because the feeling is you've just taken down a 1,000-year-old beast for, well, just to wake up your girlfriend, effectively. I mean, kind of a sad thing to do, but hey, you know, things have to be done. There's the essence coming out of the Colossus. It's gonna rush in me, and it's a bit overpowering as it's a large beast. And I'm going to black out here. After defeating each Colossus, they'll take you back to the temple, and then basically you're gonna get the next snippet of the story telling you where to go next. But effectively, you have Shadow of the Colossus coming to the States this fall.
Okay, here's the deal, guys. Joel Gordon here with E3 Insider, Spike TV, FanCam. I was walking through the Sony booth, and I had to stop because I saw this. This game is called Okami. It's an exclusive for the PS2. I've read about this. It's the graphics are designed after Japanese calligraphy, and it's absolutely extraordinary. The graphics, the effects, it's absolutely beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. Sure to be a sleeper. You know, we really need this kind of originality on our systems, especially during next gen, and people need to know that they can make games like this, take a chance, and we'll buy them. So make sure to be on the lookout for Okami when it releases. I mean, it is extraordinary. And that's Okami for PS2. Be on the lookout for it.
Hi, I'm Evan Wells, and I'm the co-president of Naughty Dog, and this is Christoph Balestra, and he's the program director. And we're here today to talk about Jak X. Jak X is the latest installment in the Jak and Daxter franchise. We really wanted to do something new with the franchise this time, make sure that we kept things fresh and kept evolving things. We wanted to look at what we did in Jak and Daxter in the past games and see an area that hadn't really been focused on enough. And something that we recognized right away in their character design that we've always had is racing elements. Jak has racing goggles on his head, and Daxter is wearing sort of a racing helmet. He's got the flaps. So it's always been part of their characters, and we've always included racing elements and racing portions of the game in our previous games, Jak 1, 2, and 3. We really felt that the racing area of the game could be fleshed out and be a full game of its own. We really felt that if we added a lot of new features like split screen, multiplayer, online, customizability, that we could actually turn it into a game in and of itself. So that's where we got Jak X. So here we got a race started, and you can see there's a nice visceral crash that I was describing earlier. So something we wanted to include in the Jak and Daxter game was just a really cool looking car. So we actually hired a transport design student out of a local college, the Pasadena Arts Center actually, to design all of our cars. And you know, he had the choice of going to Detroit and making real cars, or coming to Naughty Dog and actually working with us and just you know, spreading his wings and going crazy. And you know, this is the result. We have some really cool looking cars that are fully customizable. I would like to add, you can actually switch out the body parts and make your look your own. So you can switch out the front fenders, the rear fenders, the side panels, the roof, the trunk, the hood, the exhaust, the rims. I mean, you can really tweak it out to be just how you want it to look, and then you can change the color and the stripes. And then you also get to see that be damaged in glorious fashion as you race around the track, bumping into walls. Your car will dent, the paint will scratch, the pieces will eventually start rattling around, shaking off, and getting ripped and tumbling down the road as you race by. and you can also jump in the water, as Christoph's demonstrating. Here, Christoph's demonstrating another type of gameplay we have. Something that Jak and Daxter games have always had is a lot of variety in the gameplay, so we wanted to make sure we included that as well in our racing game. So besides just your standard circuit race where you're racing around to try to get in first place by getting the lowest lap times, we introduced games like this, which is a death race. So you're out on the track and you actually aren't really competing against anybody but a score. And so you've got these drone cars which are generated out in front of you as you race around the track. And each time you shoot one, you get a point, and you can see the score incrementing there in the upper right corner. And for the first lap, you get 1 point per kill, but you're encouraged to race around the track as fast as you can, because on the second lap, kills will be worth 2 points, on the third lap, 3, and so on and so forth. We also have a combo meter. You can see that come up there at the top. If Christoph kills multiple cars in a small time frame, you actually start to rack up combos, and that'll increase your score even faster. And you've got to achieve a certain score just in order to get a bronze medal or a silver or gold medal on this track, so that you can advance in the overall standings in the adventure mode. Which is another very important aspect of this game. We sort of have two sides of this. We have the adventure mode, and then we also have the multiplayer mode. And in adventure mode, we have, as I said, over 45 minutes of cinematics that tell a fun Jak and Daxter story, but we also have over 100 different events that you'll compete in and try to rack up a higher and higher medal count in order to finally enter the grand championships of crafts and take home the gold. But we also have the other side of things, which is the multiplayer aspect, which it's really cool. For the first time, Naughty Dog's games are going multiplayer, and so we have 2-player split-screen multiplayer that you can play locally at home. But we've also included online this time, so you can go online with 6 of your friends and compete in every single event that's available in single player. Will also be available in multiplayer as well. This is an example of another type of venue we have. The previous 2 venues have been more track-based, which are more linear type experiences. This is a wide open, vast terrain arena that also has a variety of events in it. Here, this is just a simple death match. It's oh, I'm sorry, this is not death match at all. This is an artifact race. And so in this event, you actually are racing around, and you can kill each other if you want, and that'll certainly slow them down. But in order to get points, you've got to race to the artifact, which is under that shaft of light there. And anyway, we're right on schedule to get this game out fall 2005. It's going to be great, and I think everybody's got to own this game. Jak and Daxter fans, racing fans, any vehicular combat fans, you got to get this game.
You know, except for a little rash in the nether regions, I feel fine.
Better stand back, cause I'm busy like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Here at E3, you might think that the only girls around are booth babes. Are you ready to meet the hottest gamers in the world? I'm here with the FragDolls, who are bringing a new face to girl gaming. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do. I hear you guys play up to 8 hours a day of games.
Depending on the day, we can go like 16 hours, 17 hours. New game comes out, you don't sleep.
Tell me a little bit about your influence over girl gamers and what you're doing to change just the general image.
Well, I just hope the fact that we are out there and that we do get coverage from the media, that other women are able to see that girls play more. And the fact that we do it and that we're good at it gives, you know, hopefully a good face to women in gaming everywhere.
We've been kicking butt all over this place while we've been here. We've been playing Rainbow Six Lockdown, been basically undefeated in that. And then we were playing America's Army in the afternoons. We'll be over there again later, and we've been kicking butt in that also. It's really fun to have these guys come up, and we're just like, you guys are gonna lose. You know that, right? It's true. And they're like, no, we're gonna beat you. And they all come up, and then they have respect.
Do you think that you could beat a FragDoll?
I don't think so.
So for all you guys who think the only gals in gaming are the leather-clad pixelated beauties on your screen, think again and prepare to get fragged. The FragDolls!
Hi, I'm Alex Solman. I'm one of the main designers on 24 the game. Okay, we'll take you through the demo that we put together for E3 and this press day today. 24 the game is set between seasons 2 and 3. we were all really big fans of the show on the development team, and when the 24 license came along, one of the biggest questions we had was what happened at the end of season 2? They just kind of glossed over loads of stuff and went straight off into season 3 and never really picked it up. And we're lucky in that Fox were happy with us to take that and run with it and basically pitch our game directly between seasons 2 and 3 and answer all those questions that fans of the show may have had come the end of season 2. In the game, anywhere where there's cover, you can press X, take cover behind the object, and you get a view around the outside. And it's up to you. You can, using the aim button, you can peek round and aim at any enemies that are in the area. So in this instance, we've got two guys who have been dumbed down a little bit just to make it nice and easy for you to see how the systems work. But I'm locked onto this guy here. And one thing we wanted to tackle that often happens in these kind of games with third-person control systems is when you've got multiple targets on screen, trying to distinguish between who you're shooting at. And we didn't want a completely automatic system that just allows you to blindly press a button and it switches. So using the right stick, you can flick between left and right. When you get a little triangle on the screen, it allows you to see where there's other targets on the screen, and you can basically flick between them and choose which one you want to shoot. So in this instance, go for this guy on the right, and then you can see this small dot here, which I can move around with the right stick and basically hit the guy in various different parts of the body. So in this instance, if I go for a headshot, bang, he's down in one shot. I can then switch on to this guy, bang, and he's down. So it's a system that if you want to just lock onto a guy, bang the fire button, you can shoot them in the torso. That'll work, you'll kill people, but you'll probably use more bullets. If you're a bit more skillful, a bit more dexterous with the right stick, you can lock on, quickly zoom in, pop him in the head and move on. So again, that's something we wanted, you know, Jak X, the professional, you know, he's not a lunatic. He doesn't run around in open space just blindly shooting at people. You know, he's cautious and careful and tactical. We've got a physics system in the game. We're using Havoc physics, which allows us to interact with things in the environment. It allows us to get ragdolls and drag bodies around. Physics is obviously the kind of buzzword in consoles these days, and we wanted to make sure that we had a physical representation in the game. Also allows us to do things like this cloth, which we can interact with. So we've got this guy who runs in here, can zoom into cover, flick onto him, pop the can off, wait for him to pop up, bang, got him. I can also move around in a more covert manner, which makes me make less noise, and also allows me to match the height of any obstacles that I'm moving around, so I can avoid getting shot while still moving around. Again, some physics on these little wooden rafters that fall down. Search the guy. Often in 24, Jak X going in pretty much ad hoc. He's not really very well equipped. He just kind of deals with the situation as it comes by. We wanted to represent that in the game. On this mission, I've only started with a pistol and body armor, but I can find weapons laying around like the shotgun, and now I'm equipped with a shotgun, and I can basically scavenge my weapons and ammo from these guys around the world, around the level. So yeah, this is the on-foot section. We've got several other types of gameplay in the game. Interrogation, again, very Jak X thing. Shouting at people, tell me where the bomb is. We've got that in the game. We've got driving sections where you can bomb through the city, desperately trying to get from point to point, trying to hunt down leads. We've also got some gadgets in the game as well, which allow you to sort of feel like you're a member of CTU and you're interacting with satellite imagery and thermal scans, and you know, and we've got a full 24 hours of game in there, covering a full complex plot, just like the show would have. So hopefully fans of the show will feel like it's all part of the 24 world.
I hate Adam Sessler.
I'd rather suck on a urinal puck than play this game.
Why does he get to play video games and review video games on our show about video games? Why does he get to spend every day with Morgan Webb?
We've got a preview of the hottest new releases.
Yeah!
Obsessed with video games? Watch X Play with Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. Weeknights at 11.
All right, Oliver here at the Namco booth. I promise you, these people have come a long way from Pac-Man. They got 26 titles, and I don't have a lot of time, so let's go. Soul Calibur 3, that's right. I want to get some scoop on this for you guys, but I just found out the game's developed overseas, which means the designers are all Japanese. And I don't speak Japanese, so let's see what we can find out. Now, despite the language barrier, I was able to get the scoop on Namco's much-anticipated sequel. In this PlayStation 2 exclusive title, you can pick from more than 20 classic characters, 3 new characters, or create your own character to see which warrior will win the Battle of Blades. There's even a world competition mode, and you can also check out the history of past Soul Calibur games in the museum. Who loves Katamari? Why, we love Katamari. And that just happens to be the name of the sequel to Katamari Damacy, one of the strangest and most enjoyable games to come out last year. Now, besides the 2-player cooperation mode and storyline, don't expect anything really new with We Love Katamari. But then again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just roll it over instead. All right, we came, we saw, we conquered all the hot titles at the Namco booth for E305. Peace.
Stick a piece of crap on the Katamari ball. And our piece of crap is an E3 Insider Triangle. And that's how you add crud to Katamari's beautiful ball. God bless Namco for coming up with the most random game of all time. You got a baseball bat, you got a toilet seat, a glove, an easy chair. Really great. I wonder who gets the Katamari ball after E3. You could like put it in your basement, just have it, I guess.
Hi, I'm Graham Kays. I'm a design manager at Zipper Interactive, the makers of SOCOM 3, and I'm going to run you through the SOCOM 3 single-player demo at E3. Let's go. So the first thing that we've tried to do with the single-player game is to really ramp up the action for it. And you'll notice in the single-player demo that you'll see a lot more action on the screen. You got tracer fires, you got a helicopter coming in. We wanted the action portions of the game to really be ramped up in this version. To provide a lot more excitement, and we also wanted to balance that with the stealth gameplay that SOCOM is known for. Another thing that we've done is to really work on the AI and improve it. You can see that guys here are taking cover behind the bridge here, and try to give them a lot more intelligence so that it feels like the player has to use all the tools at his disposal in order to overcome those obstacles. You also have your a key to the SOCOM franchise. You have the teammate actions that you have to control, and one of the ways that we've improved that in SOCOM 3 is that you have one-button quick commands. So I can hold down the R2 button, and I'll tell my team to go to that point that I've indicated. And you can see them running up here. They're going to go to the point that I told them to go to.
I'll follow your lead, Commander.
You can see that we have these new 3D indicators to indicate where your objectives are. It makes it a lot easier to find your objectives and to complete them. Gotcha. Right. I'm going to clear this objective really quick, and then I'll show you another great addition to SOCOM 3, which is that of vehicles.
Nice job neutralizing that first patrol. Objective complete.
Much like the other single-player objectives, SOCOM is really based on team tactics. So by adding vehicles to the game, that provides a new dimension to that team tactics. Each vehicle has several seats in it so that your team can come with you and complete your objectives. I'm going to hop in the gunner seat right here, and my buddies will hop into some of the other seats in the vehicle. As part of the authentic Seal experience, one of the things that we've done with the franchise is really try to use the type of ordnance and vehicles that the Seals will actually use. This is a special Seal gun-configured Humvee. You can see there's guns on every single seat except the driver's seat. It's a much more effective gun platform for the Seals when they go into dangerous situations. And you can see enemies use vehicles too. Here we've got two enemy technicals coming up, configured with heavy machine guns on the back of a civilian vehicle.
They won't be driving that anytime soon.
Now, the missions in SOCOM 3, they're going to be up to 6 times bigger because we have to account for the accommodation of having wide open terrain for vehicles, and you'll notice that certain areas of the mission are vehicle areas where, like this roundabout, is definitely a vehicle area where your vehicle is expected to go around, but then you also have areas where your team has to go in and infiltrate, like this house. The vehicles can't get in there. So those are the kind of things you can look forward to SOCOM 3 coming this fall.
All right, E3 insiders, Oliver here, and I'm going to be really straight with you guys, all right? I was supposed to cover some games here at the Atari booth. I was supposed to cover Indigo Prophecy 2. I was supposed to cover Test Drive Unlimited, and I was supposed to cover D&D Online. But you know what happened? I found me the lounge, and I mean, this place is amazing. So we narrowed it down to The Matrix, Path of Neo. Check it out.
If you get this one, then you get them all in one. Because this covers Matrix, Reloaded, Revolutions, and more. It's got the expanded universe. Another thing that we're doing that we're trying to innovate on is the whole strike and blocking thing. So we don't have a block button in Matrix and Path of Neo. We have a strike button, and like martial arts, your strikes are your blocks. And one thing that we really want to get in this game that's really prominent in the movies is when they're going back and forth with the Wing Chun and stuff like that. So in this game, let's say take an early level, like a training mission. You start out with a 3-hit combo. 1, 2, 3. This guy comes at you with a 2-hit combo. If you stand there and he goes 1, 2, you take it. Boom, boom. You go up to him, 1, 2, 3. He's going to throw a 2-hit block because he has a 2-hit combo in his system. So he goes block, block, but then he's out of combos. Your third one, if you follow through, is going to hit him.
If you choose the red pill, The Matrix Path to Neo will be available on your Xbox, PS2, and PC. If you choose the blue pill, it will be available Christmas 2005.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Roundtree. I'm animation director on Path of Neo. So, Path of Neo is really the game that I think everybody wanted to play, that everyone out there was asking for. Everyone wanted to be Neo. They wanted to start from the beginning of the game, go through the training, fight Smith, save Morpheus from that horrible situation, and then free everyone's minds. That's what everyone really wanted to do, and that's what we've given them. We have a fully featured combo system with multiple person fighting, so you can grab more than one person. You can jump into the air, dive, shoot, grab a guy, throw him into another guy, draw a sword, and chop up the third guy. We can fight with lots of different melee weapons. We have hand-to-hand combat, one-handed sword, two-handed sword, staff and spear. So you can fight all those Smiths in the park scene in the second movie with a staff and fling them up, smashing buildings as you hit them and throw them 100 meters. Technology-wise, we've got some really cool new features going on. We have depth of field, so like in a movie, you know how you're on one guy and somebody in the background is blurred out, and then they go between focus between one guy and the other. We can do that. What it does is, with everything that we're working on, it gives us a real cinematic feel. Depth of field, normal mapping, which gives a real 3D feel to everything. It's better than bump mapping, and it runs faster, and I don't think anyone's ever done it on the PS2. So the riot cops, if you jump kick them, you'll knock the shields out of their hands, because they're pretty much bullet invulnerable. So each character in the game, they're pretty much tuned to have a specific weakness. So in the case of the riot cops, you can evade over their heads and kick them in the back, and it'll make them drop a shield, or go into a focused jump kick, and you can take them out. That's the boss in the level. We also actually, with the combo system, we've greatly improved everything we did from the past. We have an on-screen hint system where if you grab somebody, it pops up button options, so you know that if you press triangle, triangle, triangle really fast, you'll go into the fist bouquet and hit him 100 times in a second. But then if you grab and strike, strike, strike again, you'll uppercut him into the air and hit him again, again, and then uppercut him. What we've done is put a bunch of continuers into the game so that you can do one big move and transition to another big move once you learn it. So there's a lot of depth there for the hardcore gamer. So we're releasing Path of Neo at the end of the year. It'll be on Xbox, PS2, and PC.
So we're here to talk about Mark Echo's Getting Up, which is a game, I take it, unlike any other that's ever been released. Why is that?
That would be safe to say, mainly because you play as a graffiti artist. You start off as a toy, which is the lowest level of graffiti artist, and you basically start off the game by beefing with a rival crew, and then eventually you end up uncovering a larger government conspiracy, and your art becomes much more political, and you end up sort of bringing down the corrupt government of New Radius by the end.
How much of Mark Echo's personal life, since he's tagged onto the game here, no pun intended, is represented in the game itself?
Mark, certainly Mark is the creative director for this game. This was his idea almost 7 years ago. Mark was a graffiti artist, but I would say that's probably where the real life similarities end. Mark's real goal with this, obviously he's been very involved in graffiti culture for a long time, and one of his real goals with this game is to teach people about the history of graffiti culture and the tools that graffiti artists use to get their message out.
Look for Mark Echo's Getting Up in fall 2005 on your PS2.
Hi, my name is Guillaume de Fondomière, and I'm the executive producer of Indigo Prophecy. Indigo Prophecy is a new type of experience. It is an adventure, I should say an interactive drama that is taking place in New York today. Indigo Prophecy is the story of an ordinary man. It's called Lucas Kane, and one day he's going to enter into a diner, and something extraordinary is going to happen to him. He's going to stab a totally innocent person. He doesn't know why he stabs this person, but he commits this murder, and he will have to face the brutal consequences of his action. Lucas is waking up from his trance, and here we go.
I didn't want... It was like a dream.
I'm in the restroom. Obviously there's a cop coming, actually at the bar. So it's a big risk. We're putting the tension on the player. And now, here I am, in control of my character. There's always a camera following you. But you can also switch cameras. It's a very easy interface, actually. And with very easy sets of actions. So for instance here, when I have this icon that pops up, I see that I can see something. Let's try to see if I can maybe get out here, out of the window. Now something very important is the mental health of your character. Throughout the game, you will have to control the mental health of your character. So it's very important to do the right actions. And now here, actually, the player really has the choice of what he wants to do. For instance, here we can hide the buddy. Now I'm playing with right and left controllers of my controller, hiding the buddy. So it's very, very intuitive. Now I'm full of blood. I have the choice. I can do anything I want. For instance, rush out. If I rush out now, while I'm full of blood, the cop's coming, the waiter saw me, and now I can decide. Either wait, and of course the cop is going to catch me, or run out and escape. And here I go. Something very important, we're playing with different windows, so you can follow the action of the game in different locations. And here the cop discovers the buddy. Now, something I want to show you, let's go back to exactly the same scene, and I want to show you how your action really affects the story. So here again, I'm going to hide the buddy. First thing. But now I'm going to try to be a bit more clever and hide the different. I have the possibility to hide the blood stains. There's nothing right or wrong I can do, but depending on my actions, actually the story is going to unfold totally differently. Now I'm going to wash myself, so I'll be able to get out of this room pretty normally, and you will see I will not attract attention. So here I am. I'm not full of blood. No one knows I committed the murderer. And I can decide, for instance, to leave.
Waitress, she noticed something. I'm done for.
So, as you see, I told a totally different story. Indigo Prophecy has been developed on PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC, and is going to be released on September 9th worldwide.
Oliver here. I'm at the Buena Vista Games booth, and I know what you guys are thinking, kids games. But I'm telling you, they got some stuff you want to check out, so come on. All right, Mike, Nightmare Before Christmas. Everybody knows the movie. Now you guys got the game going on. And I know that one of the big challenges is really recreating the movie for people. Talk a little bit about that for me.
Well, there's really two words to that, and that's Tim Burton. When we had this idea, Capcom approached us, said we want to make a game about Nightmare. We said we can't do it without Tim. So we got Tim in, we gave him some storylines, and we said, hey, we got an idea for a sequel to the movie. So this actually takes place a year after the end of the film.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Bones.
The exciting element is really just this world that Tim Burton created. You're playing as Jak. You're talking with all the characters. There's like 40 characters in the film, good guys and bad guys they have in this game. And you're going to places you saw in the movie that you wanted to go into. But it's not just like playing a movie. It's playing a different story. You go other places.
The Chronicles of Narnia has actually paid homage to one of the most underrepresented mythical creatures, the Minotaur. How do you enjoy being in the game? How are the game and the movie related?
Well, the game and the movie are definitely tied together very closely. The Chronicles of Narnia and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is such a great story. We want to do our best to make sure that we convey that story right back to the customers.
Now, what sort of gameplay modes are going to be available to users?
The cornerstones of the game are cooperation and collaboration, and obviously we've got great creatures in combat. So the two players will work together, and you can switch between any of the available characters on the screen at any time, live. And when two players, they can switch between themselves, and they can also combine characters to perform powerful combo moves and additional strength moves and power moves that make it a lot of fun. So it's really designed to have two players sitting side by side and have a fantastic experience playing through the story.
Well, that's it from Buena Vista Games. Time to say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say bye now.
Hi there, my name is Donnie Clay, and I'm the producer on Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. It's for the PlayStation 2, and it's supposed to come out in November, sometime before Thanksgiving. So let's jump into gameplay. In this game, we wanted to really focus on the freedom of flight that the Dragon Ball Z universe has to offer. We wanted to be able to create some distance and large expanses of arenas, make them fully destructible, and really just make the game feel like you're in Dragon Ball Z and you can do whatever you want to do. Some of the interesting features, we're going to have around 60 playable characters, which is pretty impressive for a PS2 game, or for any game for that matter. There should be around 8 destructible environments. They're all really large. Character models are beautiful, and the levels, like I said, are all fully destructible, so that's what we've been focused on. We wanted to make sure we made a good game, not just for Dragon Ball Z players, but video game fans in general. I think we've achieved that personally. The game is fast, frenetic. You can really fly around, get a sense of the freedom of the game. You can take care of business with super moves like you normally can in DBZ. But we wanted to really emphasize being able to create the distance in the game and kind of hide behind the environment and take pot shots at your opponent as you play. As you can see, we have all the usual things you would expect from a fighter, like counters and super moves. But what you don't expect is the 3D feel of the game, and really just how you can go anywhere in this level. You can see right there, I just destroyed the cell ring. So what I think we've created here is something that anybody can play, anybody can like, and then if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, that's just the icing on the cake, especially with all the characters. There'll be some new characters in there that you've never been able to play before, characters like Chaozu or the giant monkey form that the Saiyans will turn into. There'll be some movie characters in there you've never seen before. I don't even know if it's been released in the States, but the last Dragon Ball Z movie, number 13, I think, there's a character in there called Janemba, who is one bad cat, and you can actually be him. You can see just how destructible these environments are as I fly through, and really how fast-paced the game is. It's incredible to me. I hope it is for you as well. But that's Budokai Tenkaichi.
Are you guys ready to see what Square Enix has to offer? Kingdom Hearts 2, Dragon Quest VIII, Radiata Stories, Full Metal Alchemist, the Final Fantasy franchise, highly anticipated, and their ventures into mobile gaming. Take a look. It's time to talk about Kingdom Hearts 2. This is actually the third game in the series. Felice Wu of Square Enix is going to tell us a little bit about how it came to be.
We're going to have a lot of new Disney worlds again. We have Pirates of the Caribbean as one of our worlds that was announced, and the Mulan world. So Ming-Na is going to play Mulan, as she did in the movie. James Woods is playing Hades in the Hercules world, and Haley Joel Osment's playing Sora again.
And when's the release date?
It's this winter, 2005.
Our next stop on the Square Enix booth tour is Dragon Quest VIII. It's called Journey of the Cursed King.
This is the first title in the series that we're releasing after the merger with Square and Enix. It's a huge cultural phenomenon in Japan. It's an opposite, so it has to come out on a weekend. This title in Japan, when it released, it sold over 3 million copies.
Another hot title is Radiata Stories. Why is Square Enix so excited about this title?
This is a title that's developed by Tri-Ace, which is the same company who did Star Ocean. It's just got really, really beautiful graphics, and it has like a sense of humor about it. Instead of just hitting things to open them up like boxes, you can like kick it. So you should kick everything that you see, and you can get potions or treasure.
It seems that one of the biggest draws of the Square Enix booth is Final Fantasy VII, which includes 4 games, including the Dirge of Cerberus.
Advent Children's a DVD. It's like a movie.
Final stop on the booth tour. It's all about mobile gaming, and we're going to get to see some of Before Crisis actually on a cell phone.
Yeah, this is part of Final Fantasy VII compilation. It's the second one, and it's 6 years before the first Final Fantasy VII. You get to play the Turks, which were the bad guys in the original story. Our company really wants to get into mobile gaming because of the networking capabilities and being able to play against your friends and on the go.
And that concludes your booth tour of Square Enix. With that lineup, they've got a lot in store.
I'm Keisuke Kikuchi, the producer of Fatal Frame 3. So I wanted to make this game the most scary one. So Fatal Frame 3 has 3 major features. So one of them is in this game, the characters come and go between the world of reality and the world of nightmare. There are 3 playable characters available in this game, and each of them has different ability. So player has to find out has to play them accordingly to their characteristics. The third feature is tattoo. So we call it the curse of tattoo, and it spreads over the body. And once it fully covers the body, you cannot come back to the world of reality from the nightmare. So in the world of nightmare, there are many ghosts. There is a ghost wearing a tattoo all over her body, and that ghost attacks the characters. And so those characters have to find out the mystery and the secret of tattoo, and they have to try to stop that, stop it spread over the body. So in addition to those major features, he wanted to make this one is the ultimate, the most scary scary game. That's why overall screen effects has been much improved this time.
Hi, my name is Joe Willis. I'm a game designer at Capcom Studio 8 for the Final Fight Streetwise project. I'm going to take a look inside of Final Fight Streetwise. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the game. In this game, it takes place 15 years after Final Fight on Super Nintendo. You are Cody's little brother, Kyle, and you fight in these pit fights. You're totally unruly. You can't hold a job or anything of the sort, so he fights these pit fights to make ends meet. So Cody stays on and Cody coaches him. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit about the pit fights. Controls are really simple. Pick up and play. Easy for the beginner.
Don't put your money on me. Come on.
One of the things that we introduced in this game is a mode called Instinct Mode. And when you hold the L2 button, it increases the power of your hits. Adds way more damage to the ends of your combos. You can take all of your normal moves, mix up your combos with your grab moves, and get really elaborate combos in the game. So in the story, you meet Cody at the bar. And these guys come looking for Cody. And of course, you being his little brother, you're not having that. So you and Cody get into it. Next thing you know, it's an all-out bar fight. Breaking chairs over heads, smashing people upside the head with pool cues, knocking bottles over, kicking ass. And every weapon that you hold, you can do grab moves, combos, you can mix your fists with knife slashes, and even gun moves. Awesome. Another feature we introduced in this game is a feature called Counter Time. I'll show you a little bit about that. While in instinct mode, if you block or if you parry a move at the right time, you have a very similar bullet time-like effect. So yeah, Weasel is the leader of a gang called the Blue Ballers. They're a bowling team. They hang out in the city and they cause trouble, but they're really pretty much just a group of hams. They think they're badass, but they really aren't. It's easy for Kyle to set these guys straight. So that's Final Fight Streetwise. Will be available out in the stores February 2006. Look forward to it. You can surely believe that characters like Kai, Cody, and Hagar, they're going to be in there and more. So Final Fight Streetwise, look for it.
Your fist is the only thing you can really rely on in this world. These words from my brother Cody were drilled into my head. My name is Kyle Travers. I'm an underground pit fighter in the back alleys and basement fight clubs of Metro City. It's not a bad life. Brutality has its rewards.
Nothing, Travis.
God damn it, Kyle! What the with this guy? I thought fighting for money was all I'd ever do. That was until Cody disappeared. I don't know what kind of I was into. Maybe it's that new drug making everybody crazy. I'm fighting for my brother's life now, and no one stops me until I find him. I fight for the young conventional. Not right, and it's unconditional. I can only be as real as I can. What doesn't kill us only makes us stronger. We are the new Diabolic. We are the brand of new color. If I have to give my life, you can have it. We are the pulse of the maggots. This is my destiny.
All right, Oliver here. I'm at the Blizzard booth, and fess up, you guys, how many years of your life have you spent playing either Warcraft or StarCraft? Well, I'm here with the good people at Blizzard to get you the scoop on what you're going to be spending the next few years playing. All right, I'm here with Kelly Chun, who's the associate producer for StarCraft Ghost. Kelly is the man to talk to if you want to know something about StarCraft Ghost. So, what is new? What's the bomb? What's going on with Ghost? Give me the scoop.
Okay, so StarCraft Ghost, the single player, is centered around the main character named Nova, and she's going to be part of this this Terran Dominion army. We'll also be introducing a multiplayer. What we're showing right now is we're composing mostly of Terran units, but we're definitely looking forward to like putting in Zerg and Protoss units, so that everybody that was like playing the RTS back before will really kind of feel like at home, be that one guy just kicking ass and going through the game. We're going to be putting in like deathmatch, team deathmatch, matches called like Capture the Base, Hunt, onslaught, and presenting it in a multiplayer fashion.
Now, what's the status of the game? How close to done are you guys on this thing?
We really were focusing on like additional like new content. If it requires us to actually go into the 2006, the first half of that year, in order to deliver a powerful game, that's what we're going to do.
My name is Nico Bahar. I'm the associate producer on LA Rush. Here we have one of over 80 races that we have in LA Rush. This one being a point A to point B. We've got circuit races. We've got a variety of different races that populate our menu. As you can see, we've got a great sensation of speed in the game. Cars look beautiful. Great crashes coming up. Let me give you a nice little demo of what one looks like. Wow. Huge impact. The good thing about this, though, is that we try to throw you right back in the race because we don't want you to sit here and go, this guy just whizzed past me during this crash. So we try to get you right back into it. We've got over 350 drivable miles of LA that populate our city streets that fade in and out on occasion. Now, as you can see here, we've got a pimped out ride that was done courtesy of West Coast Customs. West Coast Customs are not only integral to our story, but any car that you acquire, win, or buy can be taken to West Coast Customs and they will pimp it out using the latest aftermarket parts. As you can see, we've got key areas of Hollywood, we've got South Central, downtown, we've got LAX. I mean, we've got just tons and tons of LA personality written all over this game. In addition to the story mode, we've got some great kind of mini games that populate the menu. We've got a roam mode, which is where the story takes place. We've also got quick race, and we've got a cruise mode too. Now, cruise mode is very cool. If you've ever played the game Speed, our cars are governed on a piece of track at either 60, 70, 80, or 90 miles an hour, depending on the difficulty of it. And the object is to get from point A to point B through the scripted traffic, through all these jumps and turns and crazy crashes without dropping below that speed limit. So it's really fun, really addictive. It's been a showstopper for a lot of people. They love it. So this is Trix's house, where you start off. Beverly Hills. I wish I lived there. But first car you start off with is the Nissan 240SX, which has been tricked out. You can see we've got body kit, we've got the carbon fiber hood, we've got the exhaust. Now we've got police radar here, you know, magic of television. So we got police radar. Let me show you a little bit of the map that we have. Like I said, we do have 350 drivable miles of LA. So there's tons to do, tons to see, and like I said, the personality is written all over it of LA. Show you a little bit of the sensation of speed that we have, and I'll end it with a nice big crash for you. And we'll drive right by our dear friends at West Coast Customs right over here. And what's LA without traffic? We've got a great dynamic traffic system that's pretty much all over the place. It's the most fun that you're going to have in traffic for a long time, I guarantee it. Big crashes, big explosions, and the luxury of not having to take your car to a repair to get it all put back together again. And we're looking to have LA Rush out for you sometime this fall.
Midway presents the only street racing game featuring the crew at the world-famous West Coast Customs with intense speeds and killer jumps. Hold on tight for the return of Rush.
Woo, I bet you ain't know this rig here could fly, huh?
For you, there's no rush bigger than speed. All these rides are yours, fully pimped out and juiced up. But now that you've got it all, there's one man who knows that to take you down, he's gotta take what's yours. Your rides.
Woo, see you in the rear view, son. I'm not doing fine. I'm disintegrating lies.
This fall, take back the streets of LA. Fall 2005.
Hey, E3 insiders! If you like to dance, sing, basically if you like to party, Konami's got the booth for you. Check it out. Okay, the Konami booth is hopping. We've got a DJ in the corner. Dance Revolution going on right there. But have you heard about Karaoke Revolution? We're gonna go check it out. I'm not gonna sing for you because it will be painful to your ears. But let's go see what this guy sounds like.
This is a brand new Karaoke Revolution party. This is the brand new sing and dance mode where you sing and dance at the same time. You're judged both on your singing and your dancing. This is going to be on Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 this coming Christmas. You can sing and dance as one person, or you can have two people, one person singing or one person dancing. We will have 50 songs on the game this year, more than we've ever had before.
Konami's booth is definitely hopping. Right now we have entered Club Revolution.
Beatmania started out as an arcade game. It's an interactive DJ simulation game. So you're actually dropping the beats, spinning the tracks, and putting the whole song together all in real time. You've got a turntable that you can scratch up and down, and then here you've got what looks like a mini keyboard. Notes come down on the screen. You got to hit the corresponding key here or scratch. Wiki, wiki, wiki. Konami is definitely the pioneer and the leader in music games.
Okay, so we've left Club Revolution, stepped out of the music hype. I'm with Matt Knowles, who's going to talk to us about Castlevania, another hot release for Konami.
What you're looking at is Curse of Darkness. It's coming out on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox this fall. We've introduced a new character, a new storyline, and the story focuses all around betrayal and revenge.
And that's gonna do it from the Konami booth. Did a little dancing, a little clubbing, hung out with Dracula, and Konami is so determined to pull in an audience, they're even giving away TVs, entertainment systems, consoles, and they're gonna have a dance show coming up. We're gonna take a look. There it is right there. I'm gonna sit down and enjoy it myself, so I'll check you guys out later.
Hi, my name is Charlie Beeson. I'm going to be showing you Inuyasha Feudal Combat today. It's on the PS2. As you can see here, we have some really beautiful environments that really capture the feel of the animated series.
I'm going to purify this evil.
This game features your favorite characters from the animated series, and you actually get to partner up with your characters and use their friendship and bond, like you would see in the anime, to increase your team skills and fight more effectively, like in the anime. As you can see here, I'm fighting a 2-on-2 battle, so I can have my partner character attack the enemy's partner, or I can have it attack the enemy himself. So actually, you can you control the first character. As you can see here, I'm controlling Inuyasha, and my second character is controlled by the computer, and I actually can give it commands. I can do one of 4 things. I can have it block, I can have it do a long-range attack, a close-range attack, or help me do aerial combinations.
That's it. I'm counting on you. Understood.
As you progress through story mode, you can actually increase the bond that you have with your characters by working together effectively as a team and destroying your enemy in ways that you see in the anime. And you can actually level them up and increase their bonds so that you make you a more effective fighting team.
Understood. Understood.
I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose.
Barrage!
And that was Inuyasha Feudal Combat. It's coming later this summer.
You're all talk.
Stacey and Oliver here.
Hey.
Wrapping up E3 2005. What were some of your favorite moments?
All right, I like the next-gen console stuff and the NC Soft booth where they had that whole mutator band going. That was really, really cool. Stace, yourself?
Make-A-Wish Foundation, of course.
Always
I
safe.
also loved all the mobster titles. There was Scarface, Taxi Driver, and of course, The Godfather, and mobile gaming. Huge this year.
Let's not forget
The massages.
the Tylenol Ouch Couch. We spent some time over there.
Great.
Here's some of our other favorite stuff.
Check it out. Here at E3, gaming is exhaustive business, and for the first time, IGN is acknowledging that, offering earplugs, Tylenol, and free massages.
Ah, it felt so good. Richie, I know you needed that too, brother. Talk to me.
I need it, brother. Thanks, man.
All right.
Because I'm so afraid of this spider behind us. I'm out of here. Okay, that's going to wrap up your coverage for E305. We hope you had as much fun as we did, and we want to say a special thank you to everyone behind the scenes who made it happen.
There's a lot of folks that made it happen, but in particular, we're going to thank the folks that made E3 Expo happen with the ESA, the staff on E3 Insider, and of course,
Brian, our voice from above.
who last time I checked was chasing around Namco booth babes, which is why he's not here.
Of course he was.
Oh, listen, I'm Oliver Najad.
I'm Stacey Barcelata,
and we'll see
catch
you next year at E306. Bye.
Later.